It's not the statistics! It's not the statistics! You tell me, how do you measure somebody that could balance a balloon in a wind tunnel on a needle?
Good evening, you glorious, glorious people. Lovely to see you. Can you believe it's August already? That means football is back. Now, I do recognise that for some, football never went away as they enjoy a summer league. For others, it started last weekend. Some, it starts tomorrow. And for those that support the best team in the world, Aston Villa, it starts in a couple of weeks. It feels like it barely went away. It's crazy. How on earth is it August already? How is everyone doing this evening? There are some wonderful people already in. And let's start off by welcoming in the irrepressible DM bassist, the undeniable Crodmo, the truly glorious RJ. We've got Desmano in as well. We've got a little bit of FMG&G. We've got a little bit of Rennis as well. RJ, I've already said hello to you. Why did I say hello to you again? That's how much you mean to me, RJ. That's how much you get 2 welcomes. No one else gets that. We also have a little bit of Zerachul, whose name apparently isn't Zerachul, and he's been too kind to not correct me over this time. It is allegedly Zeratel. Is it Zeratel? Was that what was being suggested? So welcome in. Lovely to see you all. We've got some Bill Houdini as well. It's wonderful to see you. And we have, of course, Blue Lions. And we've got a chat saying, skip me, thanks. If it's any consolation, I did remember you before I saw that message. It is lovely to see you all in. I really appreciate you all being here. We do have, hopefully, a cracking stream ahead. We've got a little bit of AC Milan coming up. Where we left off on Tuesday, we had just had 2 players sent off in 2 minutes as we collapsed to a 4-1 defeat at home to Tottenham. And then a little bit later on today, we'll be doing a bit of a review of the first 6 months of the committee, seeing where we are and setting our agenda for next week. So let's head on over, shall we? Let's head on over. Cool, so let's see. Football never ends. It really doesn't. DM Basis, isn't it a fine shirt? We've got to love the little bits of pink flowers every now and then. It's finally time to crack out the loud shirts, I reckon. So it's 11 days to the most important day of the year. What is the most important day of the year, RJ? It's not, apparently. It's not DM Basis' birthday, which is in 15 days. It's Zeratel's birthday next week. And if we have a Johnson around in a little bit later, it's just 2 days until his birthday. Oh, welcome in, Jabbits. Welcome in. Lovely to see you, my dude. How are you doing? RJ's birthday is on the 11th. Beautiful stuff. So DM Basis did redeem a mini game. So why don't we do that before we catch up on where we are with the save currently? And I have finally got round to actually doing some prep work. It's been a little while. So let's head on over to a quick round of Guess the Player. Now, if you guys are new in, let me explain how Guess the Player works. In a few moments, you're going to see 4 pictures from a player's profile, one after the other. You're going to see the positions they played, their attributes, their coach report, and their club history. Your job is to guess who the player is at the earliest opportunity, and the earlier you get it correct, the more points you get, which gets you up on that lovely little scoreboard, which comes to an end this week. We will be resetting for the new season of mini games next week, so this is a last chance to potentially catch up to Zeratel. Now, couple of things to note. The picture that is currently on your screen is just a placeholder. So sadly, whilst Crodmo is correct, that is Carlos Valderrama. Carlos Valderrama is not the answer we're looking for. Second thing to note, this is using the default database in Football Manager 24 at the start of the game. So a player like Joshua Zirkzee, for example, is at Bologna, not Man United. So let's... RJ's heard this so many times, he's even prompting with the questions in chat. Where does Zirkzee play? It's the only player I can think of. He's just always there. Let's move on to the very first clue and see if anyone can get it from what is very, very limited information right off the bat. Now, we had some guesses before we'd even revealed it. Could it be Nicholas Raskin? Could it be Pep Guardiola? Could it be Gravison or Daniel Amokachi? Could it be Isaac or Hullit? Could it be Tijani Babangida? There's a throwback. Could it be Ekatike or Cucurello or Yoel Hato or Kevin Mir or even Campo, Branthwaite, Guido Rodriguez, Paulinho? DM Bassist knows he's already got it right, it's Raskin. Could it be Basuma? Could it be Kante, Nico Gonzalez, Caicedo, Rijkaard, Verratti, or Reinders? It is none of those people. Sadly, it's not Raskin. As DM Bassist correctly points out, Raskin would be 5 stars at every single role. So we have here a right-footed ball-winning midfielder whose attributes look something a little like this. He's pretty good, isn't he? He's an elite tackler. He's got fantastic mentals. He's got stamina. He can keep on going for days. He dives into tackles. He arrives late in the opposition area. He's 6'1". Could it be, as Maestro said, Rice Baby? Declan Rice is about 6'1", I think. He is a good tackler. It's not Declan Rice, though, sadly. Could it be Christian Norgard? Or maybe Joshua Kimmich? I'm going to struggle with your name every single time, Zeratel. But Zeratel has suggested that it could be Darun. That's a very, very left field guess. Maestro is going for Rice Baby again. Could it be Yuri Tielemans? Oh, I don't think Yuri Tielemans is that good a tackler, I'm afraid. Maybe it's Douglas Luiz? Could it be Patrick Vieira? Or Amadou Onana? We've got a little suggestion for that. Are you going for Pablo Barrios there? Is it Gary Medel? Well, I can tell you that we do have a correct answer in there. And Maestro thinks that Crudmo might have got it with Amadou Onana. Now, Crudmo is the person in striking distance. We have a wonderful battle going on between GNG and Draw for third, but it is truly between Crudmo and Zeratel for the place. So, has Crudmo closed it up? He says no. He says it's not him. And it's not him because it's a leading Serie A player. It's a leading Serie A player that starts the game at Atalanta, which means that is 3 points, making its way to Zeratul. It is indeed Martin Darun. Beautiful stuff there. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Look at those ears. What fabulous, fabulous ears Martin Darun has. And welcome in, Marsh. Lovely to see. Oh, you are too kind. You are too kind. Coritiba's terrible at this. I was going to say it's very much a game based around luck, but Zeratul seems to have such a wonderful encyclopedic knowledge of all the players. Absolutely incredible work there. He's even applauding himself. Blue Lions comes in with the applause as well. Herven Ryan, Darun indeed starts the game at Atalanta. And that's why we make that lovely little disclaimer right at the beginning. It's at the beginning of FM24 with the default database. He's even applauding on the picture. Exactly. He knew. So the picture at the start is just it would be unfair to have a picture at the start that has got anything at all to do with the game, because I'm still explaining the rules to people. So that is literally just a placeholder there. Darun centre back shifts. Who would have thought? Oh, you beauty, you beauty. Welcome in, Llama. How are you, son? Now, if you guys are not aware, FM Llama has just completed an incredible marathon stream. A few of you guys I know were already over there a little bit earlier. He's reached 2,500 followers over here on Twitch to celebrate. He's done a mad 8-hour stream. He's released his first video over on YouTube in 8 months. He is the king of us, the absolute king of us all. Lovely to see you in. Did you get one more game in before the end there? I hope you managed to move on. It was a glorious, glorious stream. And it is such an honor to have Llama Raid in. How are you doing? How tired are you feeling after that marathon sprint? Absolutely incredible. And you guys have arrived at a fabulous time. You can see somewhere beneath me, I imagine that we've only been going for 20 minutes, which means nothing has happened here. I am a disciple of Llama. We don't actually play games. We talk nonsense and we play little mini games. Sadly, you missed the first one for the evening, but there will be a few more to come a little bit later. It is good though, because what we were going to be doing next was catching people up on what's going on. So Blue Lions reckons that Zeratel needs a point deduction, and people think he might be cheating, and that's quite possibly. Oh my, Mr. Echo's in. Gamma Jobber, Mr. Echo. Lovely to see you. We have Look at these wonderful, wonderful people being dragged in by Llama, CB, Bay, Hudson, Craig. Lovely to see you. The glorious Captain Zeep. The most... Now, Marsh, you were talking about the greatest beard in FM. Captain Zeep has the greatest beard in FM. A truly, truly wonderful sight. We also have Neil in over on YouTube. Welcome in, Neil. Lovely to see you. The Football League is back tonight. That's come around quick. Exactly what I was saying off the top. I can't believe it's August already. Absolutely incredible. So Llama's going to go and get his nose bag on. Enjoy this wonderful. Bless you very much. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening, Llama. I hope that for the rest of the weekend you have absolutely nothing planned whatsoever. Although you do reckon you could have done another couple of hours but your back's a bit squiffy. Fair enough. We play only one game per stream here. We're not far off. We're not far off, that's for sure. So this is where we left off on Tuesday evening. We are 5 games into our 3rd season with AC Milan. We've created a profile based on former Championship manager 0304 wonder kid Mika Aratalo. And being the Finnish wonder kid that he was, we started in Finland with IFK Mariam, spent 4 seasons there, eventually winning the Vikers Liga back-to-back. We then moved to Germany, where we spent another 4 years, saving Darmstadt from relegation from the Zweite Bundesliga, promotion the following season, 2 seasons we finished in Europe. And then we've moved across to AC Milan. And during our time at AC Milan, we've won bugger all. This is now our 3rd season with them. We have been runners-up both times. We lost a Champions League final in extra time. We lost a Coppa Italia final, something like 5-0 against Inter Milan last season. This is going to be our year. And by this is going to be our year, what I mean to say is we've already dropped points and we're 3 points behind Inter right off the bat. We lost 2-0 to Juventus away from home in the last stream. And then we ended the stream with what might be the first time I have been truly speechless. After we got 2 players sent off in 2 minutes, which was absolutely horrendous, and then got truly routed by Tottenham. So Craig, Atkinson's got a wicket. India is 70 for 2. That's not a bad end to the day for India, really. So they must be, what, about 50 runs ahead? Going into the final. I assume it's finished now, so we've still got 3 days left. It's definitely going to be completed. Oh, welcome in, Chiru. Lovely to see you. Welcome in, Draw, as well. We're in the 1st of August and no news for FM26. We are indeed in the 1st of August and no news for FM26. As I've been saying on this channel before, I would love to have heard something the end of June, in July, but I'm only really going to start panicking if we hear nothing by the end of August. Realistically, around September is when they start their push, and then you'd normally have like a period, like they space it out, don't they? Normally you're looking at about 5 or 6 news articles once a week, and then you have your beta early access period, which tends to be sort of early to mid-October before a late October, early November release. And at the moment, there is nothing that makes me panic about that. We've seen that FM database has been updated. We know that they've been hiring for QA testers. As far as I'm aware, the wonderful people like Cult of FM, who occasionally streams and makes videos, he hasn't said, I've not got a job. So I think they're all right. No panic here just yet. So let's head on in. Our very first game right now, we've got a home game against Catanzaro, so we're going to head straight into it. We're not able to name a full bench, but this should be our best strength team. We've got a couple of new gens who've been renamed. So Pizza Pasta, Björn Rod, Bernie Arse, Emiru Hasuki, Avila Misaduckle, HJ Bockers, Green Curry are all new gens, as we are in 2033, and we're going to pop in because we don't need those new gens, because we've got Raskin, we've got Skamaka, we've got Arda Gula. That's all we need. I wonder why we're finishing second all the time. So Zeep, your beard has been a casualty of the newborn. It was incredibly painful being used as a climbing frame. That sounds like a very, very wise decision. It's an awful news, but a very, very wise decision. We are going to say, just relax. I'm very strong on the let's just have some fun and we'll all be good kind of approach to this. So there we go with our 4-4-2 monstrosity. Let's hopefully start the stream with a win. So let's have a look there. So there's a bit of a fallout with Duckett on the way off for good measure. Oh, a little bit of Needle. You got to love that. It's been quite a spicy series. I mean, obviously the way that the last test ended with England being very unhappy that India kept on batting until they got their centuries. It's been, you can feel the influence of Brendan McCullum, right? I mean, he was certainly a character as a player. And you can see it very much in the way that England have been built kind of in his image. Right, here we go. Here's Ernest Llama. He's only got 1 goal this season so far, and it's probably because of finishing like that, bless him. So new news for FM26. When will FM26 give us news? As I said, I imagine we will hear before the month is out. So 52 ahead at the moment, still playing. They're still playing. I'm surprised by that. Here's Skamaka. Oh, Skamaka. Oh, it was a block. Okay, I will let him off. We have signed a new striker, so Skamaka is now about 33, 34. He's meant to be our backup. We signed Sydney Osazuwa from AZ, who had a fantastic last couple of seasons. And we also have a new gen who's called Antipasta, who's both of them sadly injured at the moment. So DM base is probably next month, exactly that. Start panicking then. Here we go. Are Catanzaro going to do something there? They're not. They're not. It's a good save by Atabolo. We do tend to be a little bit vulnerable to the sucker punch goal. Seems to be something that we will have games where we have a number of chances and then we'll concede the first one from the opposition. We haven't conceded the first chance for Catanzaro, so I'm feeling good all of a sudden. Here's the corner. Bonato to the far post. Llama gathers, plays it back across to Bonato. He finds Bernie Arse. Bernie Arse fires just over. It was on his weaker foot. Ambitious effort. So Italy, one of the toughest places to manage. I've had very bad luck with Italy so far. Italy was where I did my first ever stream save. A save for a creator club called AC Moneyball. We got relegated and won only 3 games. I then was in Italy for the Pentagon Challenge speedrun. I did a charity event back in April doing the Pentagon Challenge during just 3 days, 3 streams, 12 hours each. So kind of a little bit of a speed run approach to it. Italy, we didn't even get to the end of the season. Oh my word, pizza pasta hits the woodwork. We took over at Napoli. We lost 5-1 to Milan and they sacked us. So yeah, I've not had a great time of things in Italy. So we're hoping that in the 3rd season, we might finally be able to crack that. Fingers crossed. Draw asked, have I watched the South Park and seen their new season episodes with Trump? I haven't watched South Park for many, many years. Used to love it when I was younger, but I don't really watch much TV anymore. Here's Skamaka. This has got to be... Oh, Skamaka fires it at 11. Come on, guys. Right. Time to demand a little bit more. We're creating the chances, but our finishing's been so poor. There's a bad corner. They've got Raskin marked on the edge of the area. We'll change that at half-time. So no more corners to the guy who's marked, because that's just done. Right, Llama wins the ball back. Here's Monterisi into Raskin. Raskin's going to spread it out wide. Albert Navarro, the attacking left back. He gets down the left, plays it inside. Raskin across to Bernie Arse. Bernie Arse from distance. Oh my.
Milan have scored again. Yes, Milan, the score night and day. You can get away.
Oh, Bernie Arse, what a goal. This, I think, is his first start for us. We signed him in the summer, and that is one hell of a way to mark your first start. Gorgeous, gorgeous finish. They clearly responded to us demanding more. That's all it took. All they needed to get a shot past the goalkeeper was just to say, try harder. Oh, as Llama hits the bar again, twice on the woodwork so far. So green curry was your lunch today. A fine choice, Grizzly P, and welcome in, my dude. How you doing? Coatiba, orange ball on a sunny day. Woke nonsense. We've been having a little bit of problems recently where when the ball is the default color of white, it's gray in game. So I've recently set it to red just so that it definitely shows up. But it's not that clear right on this moment. I do recognize that a little bit, but it was more clear than the gray ball. Right, I'm going to say positive things. I'm going to, at the very least, I'm going to be positive at half time. We're going to pop to set pieces. And we've got the far train is to the far post. The central train is to the near post. The fake train is to the edge of area. We are going to remove that routine for the second half. I think we keep things as we go in otherwise. And hopefully we don't have a drop-off. We could do with a second goal early in the second half, just to give us a little bit of comfort would be nice. So Cromwell, they've now gone off for bad light, so you've switched off. I'm surprised, like, surely there's no need to squeeze in as many overs as you need to today. Like, is it going to even make it to the end of tomorrow with the rate that wickets are falling, surely? So RJ, to continue your admiration of Union, in 4 seasons they've sold for £125 million 10 players, who they acquired for 18 million euros total. That is sensational work. 125 million profit. That is, I mean, they are just doing so well. So sorry to hear you're going on vacation to Parthenope in August. Well, give them your greetings. Hervon, that sounds wonderful. Have you already started to plan out what you're going to do there? How long are you out there for? And yes, tell them that Musterman hates them. So Maestro, did we sign Attabolo? We did indeed. What metrics did I use to find him? XGP. Literally was focusing on goalkeepers in the leagues that we've got on full detail who prevent more goals than they should, or concede fewer goals than they should would be a better way. So players with a positive XGP, someone who is active at sweeping, so possession won, didn't give the ball away a lot, good distribution, possession lost. Welcome in, Hungdom in. Lovely to see you, my dude. Right, let's bring some changes. Skamak has missed some chances. Osazu was on a fitness test, so he is back from injury now. So we'll get him out there. In fact, let's change all 3 of our front guys that are underperforming. And let's just try and... We're still dominating the ball, right? So let's tell Green Curry there's no pressure on him. Let's tell Lucas Roman that I have faith in him. And we don't need to say anything to Sydney. He's pleased already. He's just a happy lad. So Hung Damin, you're doing well with Huachipato FC in Chile, despite having 0 proper defence. Sounds marvellous. Which season are you in with them now? Crommo says there's been loads of rain, so they're trying to make up time. But yeah, it's going to be over so quickly tomorrow, surely. Sedan Base, is a game of cricket. Does it not still have about 25 days left to play? And isn't that why cricket is wonderful? I mean, I seldom drink nowadays, but Test cricket is meant to be an excuse to drink for 5 days running. And that's why Bazball is an absolute affront to it. It robs you of 2 days worth of fun times, as Raskin stings the fingertips of Laban there. I mean, we have Green Curry in our team. We do indeed. So Hervan, you're just going for the aperitivo. I mean, that's a very good reason. A very good reason indeed. Draw this week in the Champions League qualifiers in real life. There was a game where the first goalkeeper was injured and the goalkeeper who replaced him was sent off. Has something similar happened to you? I haven't had that situation. That is awful. That must be so frustrating. But I mean, you know, that is how the luck of the draw away, isn't it? I mean, quite famously, and I know we're going back a long way here, but Raskin looking to make it 2-0. That could have been another worldie. It's going to be his last contribution though, because he is very tired. So we're going to bring on Jens Kajuste now. I think we will save the last substitution just for a few minutes. We're probably going to be killing out time. I would have liked us to have scored more than 1 goal. Although what's going to happen here? Ratnik heads it on to Jose Maria. They've completely breached the defence. Algarvio, and Attabolo easily gathers it. Oh my, where was my defence there? That was shocking. Right, into the last few moments. Pizza Pasta is tired. Doner Kebab's going to come on. We're going to just look to see the game out from here. Hopefully that'll be all right. Yeah, so quite famously, Aston Villa's last FA Cup win was in 1957. And a large part of that was because Peter McParland absolutely pile drove his way into the Manchester United goalkeeper, fracturing his shoulder. And this was a time before there were any substitutes. So the goalkeeper went off to hospital. They put an outfielder in goal. The goalkeeper then came back in the second half, Bert Troutman, and played on the left wing. And we won 2-1. We could only score 2 goals against them, despite them not having a goalkeeper and for large periods of the game playing with 10 men. Right, Beneciak steals the ball. Here's Ratnik. Last few seconds. Are Catanzaro going to do anything here? No, they're not. Right as we hit the final seconds, he blew up. And there we go. A comfortable 1-0 win. But really, really disappointing that we could only score 1 goal at home against Catanzaro. But nonetheless, a win's a win, right? Sangdamin, you're in season 1. Fabulous. How far in are you? Whereabouts are you in the league? You said you're doing really well despite the non-existence defence. I mean, is a title possibly on the way? So Desmano, Test cricket equals best of British summertime as there's precious little footy. Exactly. Just 5 days of just chilling in the, well, it's British, it's Britain, so it's not sun. You're chilling in the low cloud cover, just relaxing and enjoying yourself. Right, let's get these guys rested. Right, all our players suspended after their cards in the last game. Antipasta still won't be ready for the next game back. We've got Benfica in the Champions League next. So DM Bassist, of course he's tired. He's carrying the entirety of Milan on his shoulders. Isn't he just? Isn't he just? For context, anyone that doesn't know DM Bassist, he is a Rangers fan. And that's why he is waxing lyrical about Raskin. So we've obviously been talking about the new season underway. How do people feel about their club's transfer business right now? I mean, how do we feel about the possibility that Alexander Isak could be joining Liverpool for 500 million after they spent 3 trillion on Verts, and like another billion or so on Ekatike? How are we feeling about Victor Gyökeres moving to Arsenal and then apparently being really, really rubbish in a friendly against Tottenham? How do we feel about Arsenal and Tottenham playing a friendly against one another? Now, if I'm not one that to subscribe to the whole woke nonsense thing, but an Arsenal-Tottenham friendly is nonsense. Absolute woke nonsense. There is no denying that for sure. So Hervon, you say maybe also to the underground tunnels, then a small road trip to Sorrento and the Amalfi Shore, but enough to do. That sounds truly glorious, Hervon. That sounds like a wonderful plan. So are you, is it just like a weekend getaway type of thing? Or are you doing kind of like traveling through and it's just one of the stops on the way? Sangdaman, you are first, beautiful. But it's early season, nothing is certain yet. I mean, fingers crossed for you, fingers crossed. RJ, it's day 2 of the Jupiler Pro League. Still no solution on the zone negotiations. I only learnt that it is meant to be pronounced DAZN, courtesy of the Club World Cup, and I don't know how I feel about that. There's just too many vowels missing to decide that DAZN would ever be pronounced DAZN. Just, yeah, don't feel good about that. So DM Base is feeling cautiously optimistic, although you feel like you need more proven players. Are you worried about possibly losing Igamame? I've seen him being linked quite a lot over the last couple of weeks. Is there anyone else you're worried about potentially losing as well? So RJ, you was talking about that earlier. Are they trying to break a record fee? Verts 140 million, Isak 124. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy for sure. Word is that Liverpool's most recent bid got rejected and they won't submit any new bid this window. They're going to try and hope that Isak like throws his toys out the prams. Is that the idea? They submit a bid. Isak then like refuses to play, refuses to turn up to training allegedly, and they can get him for that same fee potentially. And so the Arsenal versus Spurs friendly is woke nonsense. Absolute arse that is, really is. A friendly match between Arsenal and Tottenham with Sol Campbell as referee could be interesting. Now that could be worthwhile, absolutely. Right, here we go. So Milan against Benfica. We're going to stick with pretty much the same squad otherwise. Bernie Arse, I know he scored an absolute wonder goal, but he will come out for Rocha. Just a little bit. I mean, Rocha's only like a couple of years older. He's like 21, 22, I think. He's 25 now. Shows you how much attention I've been paying. And we're going to bring Lucas Roman in for a start as well. Do we give... you know what? We're going to give Osazuwa the start. As Benato is suspended. Let's do that, shall we? And we really, really need to win this game. So, a byproduct of us losing our first home game 4-1 as we were down to 9 men means that we kind of really can't drop any points at home in any of the rest of the Champions League. Right, let's get that paused. Let's get that up there. And let's enjoy. Right, I can hide my hair once again. And let's get that back on. Remember to put the background music back on. There we go. Right, yeah, we need to win. And potentially, like our home games, we really want to get a nice big goal difference as well built up to carve away at the -3 we are currently on. So I'm glad that it appears that everyone agrees Arsenal versus Tottenham is a sham. American nonsense we've got there. Just teams from the same league playing pre-season friendlies feels wrong. I agree with you 100%, G&G. So Herbon says, well, to compete on a constant level, you need to invest. So that's what Liverpool is doing. But a central defender wouldn't be a problem.
Turning Milanese, got me turning Milanese when we score goals. Turning Milanese, got me turning Milanese when we score goals. Turning Milanese, got me turning Milanese when we score goals. Turning Milanese, got me turning Milanese when we score goals.
There we go. Lucas Roman, otherwise known as Pocho, opening the scoring nice and early. That's what we needed. Maestro says a 15-minute cameo and people already calling him a flop sounds very Arsenal. It does, doesn't it? It really does. Grizzly, you say, not much worse than Man United versus Liverpool. Exactly. As GNG says, just nonsense. DAZN being pronounced in the zone is also woke nonsense. Calling anything DAZN is woke nonsense. Here's Skamaka. Oh, it's a absolutely shocking miss from Skamaka. I can't wait to have Antipasta back. So Herb, you're flying to Naples, then after 3 days by car to the Amalfi Coast for about 14 days. Okay, now that sounds like a glorious holiday. And I was jealous to begin with, but I'm extra jealous now. As Arda Güler fires, I thought that was saved by Jimenez, but no, he fires it over. That's three good chances early doors. All of them have made highlights. Let's hope we don't come to regret that. Here's Moreira, inside to João Neves. Sydney Osazuwa, though, steals the ball. Now we play it in behind. That's glorious from Güler. Sends Skamaka away. He plays it to the edge of the area, though, and Guvaya comes away with it. Moreira out to Fonseca. Albert Navarro, good job, lad. Swings it in. Skamaka gets the header. It's going to be difficult to generate the power from there. He was fully like 16, 17 yards out. Would have taken something very special. Like Arda Güler over the corner. Swings it in. Easy claim for Jimenez. What do we have in store here? Right. Let's send it forwards. Moreira to Gavaya. Thiago Gavaya turns away from pressure. Driving down the left now. Keeps on going. Thiago Gavaya creates some space. Cuts it back to Israel. And here's Moreira. Oh, it's a great block from Hasuki. Let's shout some positive things at Hasuki there. What a wonderful, wonderful block there. Sadir and basis Raskin and Igamane have both been linked with moves away. You'd be more worried about losing Raskin, but the money you should get for either of them would be really good. I mean, yeah, it's difficult to ignore, isn't it? Albert Navarro, unfortunately, straight at the keeper there. So evening, Kryptonic, how are you doing? How's the streaming going? You've barely missed anything at all so far, Kryptonic. We are second game. We beat Catanzaro 1-0 at home, and we're now here in the Champions League, 1-0 up against Benfica. All we needed. And you probably asked well before then, I do apologise. We've got a Benny in. Welcome in, Benny. How are you doing, sir? I don't know if Quadmo did the honours, but if not, do you mind giving Benny a shout out? Now, Benny is truly a wonderful gent. You should absolutely give him a follow once that comes his way. I believe you have said, though, that you are playing some gacha games a little bit later, so not some FM. I'm guessing you're probably playing that. If you're saying, is it going to be that Umasumi game? I don't understand it. It's not my world. But I assume my guess would be that's what you were going to be playing, as that's the kind of the hot new one on the block, isn't it? But if not, let us know what the plans are. Right, here's Pocho, sends it across, cleared by Israel. Here's Albert Navarre. Right, from the throw-in, is there going to be a highlight? Raskin back to Navarro. Should have swung it in first time. Gets the byline though. Pocho beat in the air by Di Noia. Pizza Pasta gathers, plays it back inside. Here's Rocha. Rocha across to Raskin. Raskin from distance. And unfortunately, high and wide, bless him. RJ reckons that everything is woke nonsense. It is. It really is. Everything in the world. I don't prescribe to that in real life, but as soon as that Arsenal Tottenham game happened, I think that has turned me. Everything now in football is woke nonsense. Oh, by the way, if that's an Akansuki shirt, it's just a cheap shirt off Amazon. Everything is just, generally speaking, my clothes shopping approach is to jump onto Amazon, filter by, get it tomorrow, and under £10, and that will do. And there's the equaliser. Jose João. João is a player we looked at whilst we were at Darmstadt. I think that's going to be good. I think it's going to be good. It is indeed. And this is what happens when you don't take your chances. Di Noia out on the left here. Right. Shields the ball, then pushes it down, swings the ball nice and across. Fonseca wins the header. João with the side volley. It's close range. I feel like Atabola was in a good position. He possibly could have done better there. It looked fine to me. It was fine to me. Two players playing João on side. And there we go. It looks like we'll be going into half-time 1-1. Boo! Boo! Right. This is... We'll be reasonably neutral in that respect. We're going to say keep going. And we're going to back out of that. Let's just have a look at the stats again. We have had a crazy amount of ball share. So we are going to tell them to be more expressive. Gonna whip the crosses in because we've got two big guys in there. We could stand them up, but I like the balls going in with pace, especially when we've got players like Raskin, Goulet on the edge of the area. Let's see if we can maybe make an immediate response. A goal in the first 5-10 minutes for us would be very, very nice. Right, so Igamane apparently has some attitude problems. Fair enough. So he's not necessarily going to be in favour this season. I didn't know that. So Benny, you've not played the horse gut. Is that what it's a horse gut? Yeah, I don't get this. As I said, not my world. Not my world at all. So you're playing something worse tonight. Oh my god. Oh my god. Right, João with the free kick sends it in. We've got three defenders in the exact same place. None of them picking up Stefan on the edge of the area. The cross comes in. Di Noia gets there and heads it over. All right, let's shout at these guys. This is not good football from AC Milan right now. All right, with a throw in it. Here's Rocha. Rocha sets up Raskin. Raskin across to Navarro. Navarro takes aim and it's over once again. We've got to get our shots. We've got to shoot lower. Is there a shout to say shoot lower? Right, let's bring on Green Curry was going to start, so we're going to pop him in as the false 9. That's our normal setup there. I think we might swing you out here as an advanced playmaker. I need to make sure he's coming back and marking the specific position, so he needs to mark down at defender right. We're going to ask Raskin to volante. Let's get him being a little bit more aggressive attacking the box. I think we're going to bring off Navarro. I think Navarro's played well, but he is a little bit tired and asked to get up and down that flank a lot. So on comes HJ Buckets. So it's FM tomorrow and Sunday, though. Finished season 3 last night. Fantastic. So a little bit of context for what Benny's doing. He's currently trying to win every single trophy in FM23, which is a ridiculous truly, truly ridiculous save idea. And I wish him all the best with it. As Zhao gets in behind Zhao, straight at Atabolo. We got away with that. We got away with that. So let me catch that. So nothing wrong with being a selling club if you work well in your money ball. I mean, Union are a great example of that, aren't they? Union are a phenomenal example of that. A large portion of your fan base is still stuck in the 90s, though. Feel like you should have the same pulling power, and we just don't. It's got to be studied. It really has to be studied how inactive the Scottish FA have been in investing in the game, and how Scotland has really dropped down the ranks in terms of European leagues. It's a real shame, because back in the 90s, some phenomenal players. Right, Pocho's lucky to not get a yellow card there. Into the last 10 minutes. We're going to take Be More Expressive off, but we're going to go more direct. And we are going to make the changes. Arda Güler's played a lot, so going to pop Curry out wide. Is akin to that role there. Nicholas Raskin, unfortunately, is coming off because of his tiredness. You say I have faith. And one last rattle of demand more. Into the last 10 minutes. Green Curry. Back to Bockus. He swings it in. Stefan gets it clear. Only as far as Pizza Pasta. Pasta on the right. Swings it across. That should be an easy save, but it's a penalty. Oh, no. Oh, no. No. We miss penalties. That's a thing that we do a lot of. And that should have been missed as well. Oh my, he just straight down the middle. The keeper guessed correctly. That shouldn't have counted. That should have been saved. And can Benfica respond immediately? We're going defensive. I mean, but we're going to our more defensive formation. See if we can see it out. But we lose out in midfield before the changes can take place. João Neves, no one's going out to meet him. João Neves to Lipani, to our former player, Anita Hammer. The ball runs through. João Neves goes down. It's not a penalty, though. It's not a penalty. That's good. Our last bit, time wasting. Our final substitution is going to be Donna Kebab. We're going to bring on a defender at the heart of midfield rather than a defensive midfielder. So Benny, you've got an update on your save. That would be okay indeed. So going into season 3, we've given $0 transfer budget, lost 11 players, signed 5 on 3s, touted to go down, but you finished 6th after a 5-4-11 start. We bought the club from minus 1.3 million to plus 24,000. Awesome. And you've been given a whole $5,000. Osazuwa, oh, he could have. He's not scored for us yet. You're also losing one of your 2 starting strikers and our captain for 18 months to military service. Blimey. Only silver lining is we have no contracts expiring. We'll be rolling into next season without losing anyone. Average age of the squad, 22.7. That sounds fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Oh no, Fonseca into the last 15 seconds, comes away with it, plays it back to Anita Hammer. Fonseca with the cross, it's blocked. Jimenez is coming up. It's 2-1. It's the last moments. A corner, the goalkeeper was up. Gavaya sends it across. Atabolo, you hero! Atabolo came darting out from the middle of his box, right to the right edge of the 6-yard box. And that's the full-time whistle. Oh, that was much closer than it really needed to be. That's both games so far that we've not won by the margin we probably should have done. And that's starting to get a little bit scary now. Just a little bit scary. Right, let's get these guys rested up before our game against Leche. We get Monterisi back. We get Benato back. Pasta should be back for that game as well, which is good. And Kari's still going to be a little while off, which isn't too much to worry about. Right, so we've got a break coming up. So I'm going to disappear for about 3 minutes as I poison my lungs, go to the toilet, do all that malarkey there. And we will be back. I'll see you in 3 minutes. Right, and we're almost back. I do need to just quickly check, switch this over to the right lovely little window now, and that should be this one here. Beautiful stuff. So we're going to play a mini game as redeemed by RG, which is a little bit of bingo. I've now popped a link over in the chats in your respective streams, and if you pop on over, it'll take you to the lobby. I'll explain how the game works. But before I do that, I want to say to Ignacio, welcome in, by the way. Yes, Lucas Roman, we signed him this summer to give us a little bit of depth. Ernest Llama was amazing for us last season. We needed a bit of depth on the right wing, a good left-footed player, and Lucas Roman's had a pretty good start for us. And Hervon, if you are still around, by the way, thank you very much for the message. I really do appreciate it, and hopefully catch you later, although I have a feeling you might have gone already. Right, so how does bingo work? You pop on over to that lobby, and once I click start, every single player will be given a unique bingo card with 16 squares. On those squares, you'll have things like clubs or nations or competitions or awards. We then receive the same list of 60 players, one after the other. We get 10 seconds to decide whether that player matches one of the criteria on those squares, and if it does, we click on it. Once we click on a square, you can't undo it. You can't put another player there, so you want to make sure it's correct. If they don't match a square, just let the 10 seconds run out or click skip. Obviously, the goal is to try and get 16 correct. We have some very smart people in chat. We will occasionally have, I say occasionally, quite regularly have someone getting bingo in recent time. Absolutely incredible. But don't worry, just because you might not get bingo doesn't mean it's not worth a try. It's good fun. So I'm going to give it probably just over another minute for people to join in if they want to. So RJ, good news, there is no Friday only Connect this week. Bad news, there is meant to be a top 10, but I realised that I didn't go in and check whether I need to hide some things first. So we might check that out a little bit later, and it might be that we have to abandon it because I failed to do my my prep work properly. Oops. This is just a global general knowledge bingo. So it's not Brazil only, it's not Tottenham only. So hopefully a little bit more accessible and not as horrible as that Brazil game we played last night. It was hilarious. It's awful. Grizzly P reckons you've used up all your luck on bingo. I don't believe that for a second, Grizzly. I expect you are going to absolutely plow through it once again. Benny, so arse at this. I mean, you and me both. You and me both. A consistently mid-table finishes. RJ, however, we smart. Some of us are smart. Not me, unfortunately. Unfortunately, not me. Sarah tells her, no, top 10 is my ace game. The problem is once OBS is set up, I can't go over to the scene without it showing up on screen. Or at least I don't know how to. I was trying to think if I could like copy and paste a blank image over the top to block it out like really quickly, but I don't think I'm wait a second. Oh, we might be able to do it. There's the time where the stinger's happening. We might get there. Anyway, that's for later. I'm about to click start. So if you've got this open up in another browser, pop on over to that tab and you should see the countdown underway. Desmano, it's going to be the first play for you. Zero expectations. Good luck, Desmano. Good luck, sir. And our very first player is Hakam Ziyech. What an interesting choice off the top. And I feel like I should have been able to play one, but I'm still trying to work through just looking at the options on here right now. So we've got Inter and Juventus, Turkey, Italy, Switzerland, La Liga Golden Boot, managed by Conte. We've got South America Euros winner, Milan, Liverpool, played in the Saudi League, played with Ibrahimovic, Ballon d'Or winner, 3 Champions League titles, River Plate, and Monaco. That's my card. Your cards will obviously be different. So Pepe Reina we can certainly play with confidence. I can play that over on Liverpool. Henrik Mkhitaryan. Now, he's played for Inter. Has he been managed by any of these? Has he played with Ibrahimovic, maybe? I don't feel confident on that one, so we'll let that go. Javier Pastore, I'm going to play on South America. Alessandro Martinez. Don't think he matches any of those. I'm going to give that one a skip. Pedro Porro. Was Porro arrived after Conte? No, he was on loan whilst Conte was at Tottenham, wasn't he? I'm sure he was on loan, and then when Ange took over, they completed the transfer permanently. Or at least that's what I think. Whether I'm right is an entirely different matter there. Going to skip Pedro. Luis Enrique surely didn't ever win the Golden Boot. He managed in Saudi, didn't he? But I don't think he played there. Dan Petrescu. Everyone's favourite alternative to Animal Hospital. But I don't think he matches any of those. Milot Rashica, I'm going to give that one a skip as well. Romelu Lukaku has played for everyone. Absolutely everyone that has ever existed. But I'm also going to let that one run through. Matt Letitia. Crazy, crazy man. We're going to give him a skip. Brian McClare. I don't have really any English-based options on here, so that's going to be another skip as well. Got David Pizarro. Ooh. No, I should have played that. Alexander Pavlovich, too young to have for many of these. Alex Merritt. He's at Lazio or he's one of the blue teams. I can never remember. And Nicolas Pepe. Has Pepe ended up out in the Saudi Pro League? He feels like a player who would end up there at some point for sure. Obafemi Martins played for Inter, but I don't think played for Juventus. Nigerian Italian, but I'm not going to play that one there. Dimitri Payet, scorer of a quality free kick, but again I think I'm letting that one run through. And Michael Reisiger. I don't like what we've had so far. I really don't like what we've had so far. Carlos Puyol surely won the Euros with Spain, right? Lobotka. There we go. I need Stanislav Lobotka fan in the chat for that one there. Jens Lehmann. Jens Lehmann. We're going to skip there. Vitaly Mikalenko. Angelo Peruzzi. Peruzzi did play for both of them, right? I feel like he did. I have a feeling I might come to regret that. Riyad Mahrez went to Saudi after leaving Man City. Hakan Çalhanoğlu is Turkish. This is getting a little bit better for me now. El Hadj Diouf. El Hadj Diouf, I'm going to skip that one. Same with Demba Ba. Thiago Silva. How many Champions Leagues has Thiago Silva won? Probably not enough, but he might have played with Ibrahimovic at PSG. I think I'm going to come to regret that one. Ramirez, we're going to skip past. Noah Okafor, we can play for Switzerland. We could have also played Manuel Akanji for that. Akanji's won one Champions League title. Came from Dortmund. Lorenzi for Italy. Adriano. Won't have won three. I don't... nothing jumps out to me for that one there. Alex Iwobi obviously has won the Ballon d'Or. Alfredo Di Stefano. Will that just count Champions League for Champions League times? Let's go for La Liga Golden Boot. Surely he won it at least 1 year. Our glorious Giovanni Simeone. What a player. Didn't turn up for us much on Wednesday night though, unfortunately. Christian Vieri. Ruben Loftus-Cheek. He's been to some funky clubs. I could see him at Monaco, but I don't feel comfortable on that one. Has a Campos been... I'm going to play a Campos for River Plate. I'm going to skip Yilmaz. Schweinsteiger, I don't think would have won enough Champions Leagues. Patrick Kluivert. Pablo Sarabia. I'm not going to... So, we're looking for Ballon d'Or and 3 Champions League titles. Stoichkov. Bobby Firmino. Dida. Okay, we've got three remaining from this point on. So we're going to need to play them on some of them. We are going to play Harry Kane for Monaco. We're going to play Danny Carvajal for UCL titles, and we're playing Frank Lampard for the Ballon d'Or. This might be a pretty bad round. Okay, that's not that bad. But now I know why there's applause in the chat, because Crodmo with a bingo. That's a bingo. Beautiful, beautiful stuff there. Beautiful stuff. Welcome in, by the way, Sinister. Welcome in, Captain Becco, as well. Maybe not. Mkhitaryan never met Van Gaal in his career. There we go. DM Basis says, fuck, he was just one off. What was it for you? What was it? So you somehow mixed up Ziyech for Hakimi. Ziyech did not play for PSG, and as a result, you did not get bingo. Oh, that's a shame. RJ, 27 to 33 is a fine range to be in, that's for sure. That is certainly for sure. 33, once again, absolute consistency. Welcome in, Nickname. Welcome in, Nicola. Lovely to see you guys as well. Love to have. So Captain Becco says, you've been a manager at AC Milan in the mobile version of the game. You've only won the Serie A and Coppa Italia once. I was near to winning the Serie A again and the Europa League, but we bottled it at the end. You are in the right place, my friend. We are serial bottlers. So I have a feeling we might come second once again this year. So Cromo, you had to gamble a bit there, which is not Cromo style, but it worked. It worked. Does Mar know it's not your best moment, but that means it can only get better from here, right? You said this was your first time, so no expectations, and it'll only get better from here. Now, Crodmo certainly rules the roost today so far with a sensational bingo. DMB 15 out of 16, second place, excellent. And then in joint third, we've got Char, we've got Apex, we've got Maestro, 14 out of 16, excellent work. Now sometimes Zeratel takes a little while longer and then ruins it for everyone else by knocking them down the list. So we will see in a moment, but whilst he finishes up, we'll pop back on over and see how we do. So we've got our next game is away against Leche. I have given the under-20s team the option to use some of our senior players. I think they're only allowed to name one of them. So we'll see what that does for our lineup. So Dan Basis, you had a few guesses, which considering that's your best ever score, I mean, that's the trick. Just guess and hope. I skipped Mbappe for Monaco. I did indeed, RJ. Oh, don't point these things out. Maestro did as well. Oh, what an error. An obvious one as well. But you know what it's like when you're in that moment. Welcome in, Normie. How you doing, sir? How you doing? Benny, you away from keyboard? No worries at all. When to use the rest? A fine choice. So Zeratel has come through, and he's come in joint third. Another 14 out of 16. So he knocks no one out of the top 5. Which at least is something we can hold on to. Luis Enrique did not win the Champions League, stupid game. Evidently it wants him as a player. I mean, it is players, isn't it, to be fair? I feel that seems a bit harsh. That definitely seems a little bit harsh. A Stoichkov for Ballon d'Or, indeed. No, did Stoichkov win the Ballon d'Or? I didn't think he did. I assume I'm completely wrong there, but he did indeed. 1994. There we go. I've learned something new. Thank you very much, Nicola. So Sinister says the game is impossible. It's certainly a challenge. That's for sure. Zeratel. So Benny, you took 8 minutes just to finish last. I mean, but no one knew, Benny. We keep that hidden. Just go with Zera. Or are you saying for Zera now? Is that Zera? You and your crazy name. Well, I'll be back at Zerachul within no time at all. So great, Antoine. Welcome in as well. Lovely to see you. How have you been? We are going to absolutely now. This is where our form takes off. We've had a couple of underwhelming wins to start off with, so let's go. This has got to be the moment that things turn around with an away game against 18th place Leche, who haven't won a game yet this season. They are currently on 3 points. That's 6 games, 3 draws, 3 defeats. They have a goal difference of -7. There's no way that we're going to fail to win this game, right? No way whatsoever. A Brazilian Fury's in. Welcome in, sir. How you doing? Lovely to see you, my dude. Let me sort out that lovely little bit of admin. Now, if you guys aren't following Brazilian Fury, you most definitely... Oh, thank you, Quadmo. Thank you very much. Yeah, you most definitely should be following Brazilian Fury. A wonderful creator, a lovely human being. Also a sensational video creator. It's worth checking out over on... I know there's not a link there, but also checking out his YouTube. Did a wonderful video on 10 save ideas in Brazil. 100% worth checking out. So welcome in, Panji. Yes, Björnrod is playing for Colombia. Björnrod is a renamed new gen, so he's Colombian. I think he was called like Kevin Mena, but he's been renamed to Red Bear or Björnrod. So that's why he's playing for Colombia. RJ's going to go with Zerba. Zerba, I'm 100% on board with that. Zerba it is. Right, Catanzaro got a draw against Juventus. Juventus, incidentally, are the team that's beaten us in the league so far this season. They are in administration. At the beginning of the season, they were put into administration. So we may well be trying to plunder some players off them in the next transfer window. Right, Bonato comes in. Lucas Roman keeps his place in the starting lineup.
When the seagulls follow the trawler, it's because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you.
It's true. It's true. Them bloody sardines being thrown into the sea. Teasing those seagulls. Right, yeah, so we've made a couple of changes there. We're again going to say no pressure. Just relax.
We are
have
in
some
Champions
fun.
League, man.
That was my next question.
Dilly dong, come on.
We're going to make sure we've got our marking setups here. So we've got Kiravolo on the left. He needs to be marked by our guy on the right, and he is. That means Raskin needs to mark Tabuni, and Bonato needs to come back and mark the defensive midfielder, which is Lu Hongliang. So that's our setup there. Let's get the win. Let's get the win. So you've been working back in tomorrow from 9 till 7. That's a long day on a Saturday as well. That's my famous last words.
Love it if we beat them. Love it.
So Zerba wants to be called Dictator Murder Cow. That's something we could go with. But we'd get you confused with the original. So Normie, you're at Leche in your journeyman save. Can we see their squad, please? We'll take a look after the game. But I mean, as you say, we're now 12 seasons in. No, we're not. We're 10 seasons in. 11. This is the 11th season. So the squad's going to be very far removed, and because of the attributeless way that we play, we're not going to necessarily see much information about them, but we will. Fuck it. Let's check them now. I can do that from here. So they are currently managed by Zoran Djekic. Zoran Djekic took over 3 years ago after plenty of time out in Croatia, spent 7 years at Osijek. Their key play is Samuele Kiravolo. That's the midfielder that we were looking at. We do have some scouting information on, I think. Nope, we don't. He's famous enough that we know his traits, but we don't know how accurate any of this is at all, unfortunately, because we've got no scouting information on him. But if it is accurate, good technique, good decision making, kind of an okay all-round player. Captain is Andrea Giorgini. Andrea Giorgini now has been... So he was signed by Leche from Real Valladolid back in 2028. 14 goals. Not particularly important considering he's a centre-back. And again, we don't know how accurate this is. We've got no scout report on him. Solid from the looks of things. They do have former Chelsea youngster, proper Chelsea, Xavier Mbayamba at centre-back as well. He's not great at winning his tackles, but he is very, very good in the air. 6'4". Likes to stay back. So those are like the key players. That's the captain. That's the key player. That's the vice captain. They do have Troy Parrott. Troy Parrott, unfortunately, is injured for this game. They have Australian Prime Minister Albanese. He has been playing as an advanced forward. He's got 1 goal in 7 games so far. Who else is playing well? They've got Vito De Mattias. He's an inverted winger, but he's been playing at wing back. And he seems to have been doing all right. Quite dribbly, creative, even got a goal. Doesn't seem to do much of the defensive stuff. I do also see that we have a look up for Sudakov. How old will Sudakov be now? He must be coming up to around 30 or so. 31 years old, currently at Atlanta. So he moved from Shakhtar to Atlanta in 2027. He's played 191 games so far, and he is a regular starter. In this time, Atlanta were relegated to Serie B, just something to point out there. And that's where he sort of became... No, he's been a regular starter all the way through. Comes in with a decent number of goals. We'll probably consider him. So he's probably more of an attacking midfielder in terms of the roles that he's been using. We don't know because he's not scouted where he's been playing. Very, very dribbly. Scoring at a great rate so far, but we're only 6 games into the season. So there we go. Let's see. We've got a highlight. 8 minutes in. Here's Navarro. Feeds Arda Güler. Arda Güler back to Navarro. Navarro now. He's got to get that cross in. He does indeed. Pocho can't win it. And now Albanese comes away. Keep an eye on your man. Look at the strike. He's ghosting. No one's paying attention to any of them. Atabolo gets down low. Turns it behind. We are already saying focus. That was horrible defending. Horrible defending. So Zerba reminds you of someone. Fair enough. Fair enough. So welcome in, Soul Wanderer. Lovely to see you, my dude. So you're making your own FM game. Player positioning is hard. I've successfully simulated 5-year-olds chasing the ball. I can only imagine how difficult it is. As they fire a shot across the box. Right, okay. We're going to our defensive formation. Let's make sure that Raskin is once again on Tabuni. Banato once again on Hong Liang. I am not happy that Leche, currently with 0 wins, are dominating these opening exchanges. I say that, it's two chances, 0.19 XG. Right, we've still got a lot of the ball. Into the last 10 minutes, we're going to play at a higher tempo. I think we're also going to play just a little bit wider, because obviously against the 3-5-2, they've got a lot of players in central positions. Right, Navarro back to Rod. Navarro inside. No, he finds Güler down the wing. Güler, though, goes back and gives it away to Altavira. Here comes Albanese on the counter-attack. Albanese plays it back to Di Mattias. Right, Giorgini now into Albanese once more. Catanzaro, great tracking back from Pocho. Great tracking back from Pocho. Now, can we progress the ball without giving it away stupidly? I'm not feeling confident, but, you know, seems to be reasonably smart so far. Here's Banato. Here's Pocho in behind, and Pocho, oh my word, that was a shocking finish. Absolutely shocking finish, bless him. DM Basis, do we think this could be our final season in Italy? I think it might be. If we can win the league, I think we probably look to move on to another country, because we've got a lot of teams going into administration now, and I think that we're going to find a lot less resistance going forwards in future seasons. Right, we've got to be better. Keep going. You can improve. Go and prove that you're good enough. I think that starts a little bit with us putting Osasuna on. We're going to... we're going to play even wider. Even wider yet. Let's get you pushing forwards and helping a little bit more in the opposition half. So that's the hope. So let's see. Yeah, it will also be if I get sacked. That's for sure. That is for sure. Neutral Normie, that's weird. You were hired after they sacked Sekic. How about that? That is peculiar. Welcome in, Taha. Lovely to see you, my dude. As a Turk, you support Arda Güler every match. That's understandable. That is understandable. Right, so RJ's a fan of the badge. It's quite cool, isn't it? I like the colours. The blue and the gold, very classy. The trees, quite fun. Osasuna can't win it. Arda Güler on the turn. Arda Güler gets a good save there from Arusa Aduro. Oh, he should have put that one away. Banato will take the corner. He's going to swing it into the far post. Monterisi beaten in the air by the goalkeeper. There's an unfair battle, that for sure. Right, a highlight starting in our half from the goal kick. Out to Navarro. Navarro, can he squeeze it in? He can. There's Benato dropping off his man nicely. Benato takes aim from distance. It's always going over, sadly. Oh God, I hope he doesn't go to the Premier League if he leaves Milan. We just see what, as always, we see where the save takes us. Now, the Premier League is certainly going to be more likely than, say, Spain. France probably be okay. As we said, we only went to Milan because they're North Italy. We don't want to get to climates that are too sunny. You know, we want to embrace our Finnish roots, and the gloriously dull British weather would kind of be perfect. Right, here come the changes. Arda Güler is going to be replaced by Llama. We're going to swing Lucas Roman out there. No, we're not. Lucas Roman can't play in that position, so it's going to be... Green Curry also can't play in that position, but I kind of... No, we'll play Llama out wide on the left. Play Llama out on the left. We're going to ask you now to be more attacking. Going to increase that directness. And we are once again going to demand more. We've been better in this second half. And I know that I shouldn't have said that as we see a highlight for Leche. Here we go. Oh, some nice quick movement. Here's Di Matteus. Oh, what a save from Atabolo. Oh, we needed that. We needed that. It would have been an absolute glorious goal. Tabuni's going to take the corner. He's going to cross it into that near post. Bjornrod can't quite get enough power to get it away. Better with his second header, but it's still only as far as Tabuni. Raskin, rash challenge in the box, gets away with it. Pocho heads it clear. And there we go. The pressure's gone for a little bit now. Wow. Wow, Tabuni sends it in. Osazua heads it clear. Albanese across Merkins. It takes a wicked deflection off Navarro. Atabolo was scrambling to his right, but it just flashes past the post behind for a corner. Tabuni will take this once again. Tabuni sends it in. We can't get our headers clear at all. And it's okay because Caravalo handballed. Since we've gone a little bit more direct, we've seen nothing but highlights for Leche. Right, Navarro's coming off. Going to put Llama up as a winger on support in that role there. I'm going to bring on Isaac for Roman. So we're going to make him the wide playmaker now. We're going to drop the tempo, but increase the mentality. We'll say I have faith. Right, another highlight. Starting with our goal kick. Out to Pizza Pasta. Pizza Pasta pushes it forward to Benato. Isaac coming off his man. Drops back. Has to go all the way back to Monterisi. Benato now. Benato feeds it down the line. Here's Isaac. He's got the space. Can he get the cross in? He does indeed. It runs across the box to HJ Bokkers. Bokkers, though, it's easily claimed in the end by Owusu Adure. Let's fire these guys up into the last 10 minutes. Right, Raskin, once again, is going to come off. He's going to be replaced by Green Curry. We are putting you in up there. So we're going to play a little bit more. That get the bodies forwards. We really, really need that goal. That is our last substitution. So if we do score here, we do kind of... Oh, Green Curry. Oh, shocking finish. Shocking finish. And now Altavera's in behind. Altavera is offside. Oh. The rage would have come out then. So yeah, I'm going to go to Liverpool. Definitely not going to manage our Everton. We're too big for Everton. Right, Rocha to Pizza Pasta. Here's Benato. Benato turns away, plays it back to the edge of the area. Pizza Pasta, it's a penalty. Oh no, oh my word. Alexander Isak scored a penalty so far already. It was straight at the goalkeeper. It shouldn't have counted. We have another penalty late in the game. And here he is again. There's no way we score 2 penalties in a row. We scored 2 penalties in a row.
For the fans, it's because AC Milan will come on. Let's go mental in the stands. Goals for the fans, it's because AC Milan will come on. Let's go mental in the stands.
Oh, we finally get the breakthrough. I'm not going to go defensive. I'm not going to go defensive. We've had quite a few chances since we pushed those extra players forward. Let's see if we can get a second and properly kill it off. Right, Tabuni manages to sweep up. Here's Caravolo to Catanzaro now, breaking down the left. Catanzaro inside to Caravolo. Albanese gets the cross in. It takes a deflection. Atabolo gathers. There are 2.5 minutes left. Atabolo holding on to it for dear life. Going to run that clock down. We've not told him to time waste, but he's going to do it anyway. And then he just hoofs it out to Bockers. Bockers drives forward. Bockers now plays it to Llama. Llama holds it up, back outside to Bockers. Bockers drives to the byline, sends it into Green Curry forces the save. This time he got the shot on target. Good lad. Benato out wide to Pizza Pasta. Rocha. Benato once more skips back. Just going to keep the ball in the midfield here. Are we going to play it to Green Curry? Llama. Come on, this has got to be 2-0. It is indeed. That's what we needed. Boom. There we go. That's why we kept on being attacked. And we should probably drop down now. Here's Tabuni. Straight from kickoff. Feeds the Altavera. He goes down. Nothing given. We come away with Benato. Benato's going to play it to Green Curry. Green Curry plays it back to Isaac. Isaac stings the fingertips. So yeah, actually, let's just see it out. We've just got 40 seconds. We don't need to go defensive. Llama's going to take this corner. An in-swinger with his left foot. There it is, to the far post. Monterisi beaten by Umbayamba. We did say that Umbayamba's very, very good in the air. Not so good on the ground. Maybe we should have played more on the ground. Osazuwa drops deep. Bockers. Cross to Pizza Pasta. 20 seconds overtime now. Benato. Yeah, just keep the ball. Or not. Play it down the wing. There we go. We get the win. We get the win. A fair score in the end, but we left it late. We left it far, far too late. Another penalty. That keeps us on track with Inter, but they do have a game in hand. And Navarro picked up an injury at the end there, but he's just going to miss a couple of days. And we've got a nice three week break now. So let's see what we can do here. Let's pop on over. What are the fixtures like for the under-20s? They've got loads in there, so we are going to pop some friendlies in with the senior team. We're going to go one on the Thursday. Well, the teams don't matter. This is just going to be about fitness, so we'll play away against Gianna. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We will play away against Caranesi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll play away against Base 96. Obviously, I'm a big Base 96 fan. Big Base 96 fan for sure. So those that have been here before, we will play the first half of all these friendlies. We will then substitute players off at halftime into instant result the second half. Just so that we can make sure everyone's getting some game time and we're kind of protecting them from a fitness point of view. So you see what he did there, trying to wind you up with the suggestion we'd never go to Everton, and it worked. I mean, let's be honest. If we look at leagues in focus now, if we're going for Milan, we would probably be wanting to look at teams in Europe at least. So let's have a look at what Everton's form has been like. Sean Dyche is still the manager. Sean Dyche has stayed in charge all the way through. And they have at their best finish. They did finish 7th last season. So since the game started, they've gone 12th, 10th, 9th, 12th, 10th, 9th, 13th, 10th, 10th, 7th. And they're currently down in 14th, trying to balance perhaps European football on the top of things. So we would probably consider the teams that would finish in Europe and Aston Villa for obvious reasons. And the obvious reason isn't because I'm a Villa fan, but because that's where Mika Aratalo was. He was with the Aston Villa youth team. So, or maybe that's a reason we would never join Aston Villa, because maybe he's bitter and he hates Aston Villa because he never made the breakthrough potentially. So that could be a thought. Welcome in, John, sir. How are you doing, sir? Now I know this is very, very unreasonable and unfair thing to do, but chat, I think it would be really, really nice if everyone drops a happy birthday in for Johnson. Now, it's not his birthday until Sunday, but you know, this is my last stream before his 18th birthday. So let's send a happy birthday Johnson's way. Incredible stuff. I hope you have a fantastic weekend and a fantastic birthday. It's the last day as a non-adult. Exactly. Right, we've got a full squad. We for the first time this season, we might actually have a healthy squad available, just in time for them all to get injured in training. So we are the penalty merchants at the moment, for sure. So G&G reckons Aratalo would go to Birmingham. I don't think we drop down the divisions to join Birmingham, even out of spite. CJ though reckons he should manage Birmingham too. Fair enough. There we go. There's the happy birthdays coming in. That's what we like to see. I don't know if Great Antoine is being sarcastic by saying welcome to the adult world, because nobody wants to be an adult. Nobody wants to be an adult for sure. Right, so loads of players are unavailable. That's fine. In fact, if we look at what players can take part, I might not actually. So yeah, like we'd have Kari get the start there. We'd almost certainly have Pasta in there. Llama's away, so we do that one there. Antipasta sadly isn't available, but we could go Osazua, Isaac as a starter as well. We've basically got no defenders available. So let's have a look here. We've got one who is very tired because he's just played. So let's do pick without restrictions, the unpicked positions there. We can actually go and instant result this. There's so few players that I trust they will be able to do the substitutions with reasonable amount of common sense. So out of this, a youngster is tired. That's no major concern there. Isaac's going to be going on holiday as well. Cool. That's good that we don't have to play the friendlies, to be honest. So I'm glad there. So Johnson, I hope you feel the love. I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful time. It's just time to get a job. I mean, Johnson's already sorted that out. Like, he's a smart lad. He's already like, he's a much better adult than I am. That's the thing. That's the issue. Bill became an adult after 25. You still have some fun time. Yeah, that's also a fair point. I'm not sure at 40 whether I could be considered an adult. I definitely couldn't be considered young, but I'm definitely not an adult. So Zara says, "Is your oldness showing, Crommo? It's a dementia check." I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I'm even saying the words. It's his birthday in 2 days' time, and he still writes "Happy birthday" tomorrow. Bless him. Oh, welcome in, Triangles. How you doing? So I haven't tuned in playing your Milan save in a bit. How was the summer transfer window? We had, I think, a reasonably constructive transfer window. We signed a new poacher in Sydney Osazua. He scored quite a lot of goals for AZ, and he's yet to score for us so far. We signed Lucas Roman, Pocho, to be our backup right winger. He's got a couple of big goals for us. Very encouraging signs. We signed Nico Raskin at defensive midfield. He's become a starter, and we signed a young defensive midfielder he was in the next gen list. He scored an absolute cracking goal on his first full start, Bernie Arse. We didn't make any changes in defence or in goal. And so far, we have lost 2 games. We lost away against Juventus, a game that we dominated but didn't take our chances, and lost a home game in the Champions League against Tottenham, where we had 2 players sent off in 2 minutes. Other than that, we've managed to win games. This stream's not been great. We've won every single game, but it's been 1-0, 2-1, 1-0. We've really struggled to take our chances tonight, unfortunately. So John said, the draft tomorrow indeed. Now, Zara, do you mind me talking about the draft? I know that you're organising it, but this would be a wonderful opportunity to talk about it and maybe suggest that people, if they're interested, check it out. But I won't do so if you don't want us to. So great, Antoine. You're as young as you want to be. That's fair. That's a fair shout. So Crommo thought it was tomorrow now. Crommo is in the future. See, that's what we didn't consider. That we didn't consider that Crommo has left good old Blighty, moved across to Australia just for the sake of chatting, so that he could wish it tomorrow. It's Dr. Humo, and he prefers Space Mo. I like Space Mo. I like Space Mo indeed. So let's see, David Ramsden. We don't need to worry about transfers for a little while now. So Zara, go ahead. We got space if more people want to join. Fabulous stuff. Fabulous stuff. So tomorrow evening, Zeratul is organising a draft starting, I believe, around 7 p.m. British summertime, using the Mad Scientist's 8687 database. There's some custom stipulations, so each player has to stick to certain rules. One person can pick only Dutch players, another can pick only German players, and so forth. It's really going. It sounds like it's going to be great fun, and there are spaces for players. So if you want to get involved, you're free tomorrow evening. I've just popped a link over to the Discord in the chat there. There's a room in there called the War Room. So if you pop on over there, you can then join in, take part. It should be an absolutely fantastic event. They did a little draft tournament a couple of weeks ago, which sounded absolutely fabulous. Unfortunately, I was away at the time, so I was only keeping track via the Discord. But yeah, it seemed like an absolutely awesome time was had. Right, let's unpick all these guys. Let's select all of those. Let's clear the subs bench as well. And once again, we're going to say pick without restriction, unpick positions only. Let's get that one simulated as well. So yeah, I'd recommend getting involved if you want to. So Triangles looks like some exciting new arrivals. Probably just need some time to gel and big things ahead. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. I say I'm a little bit worried about Osazuwa's start. It's not been all that great. Yeah, we don't need to rest them. That's absolutely fine. So Crudmo has left this temporal plane. He exists on a different level entirely. Well, I didn't expect that. I did not expect that at all. Who can only pick San Marinese players? That's got to be Zera's stipulation, surely. Welcome in, El Wowell. You're a small streamer and struggle to make it over 5 viewers. Any tips you can give? Generally, I don't know. I haven't checked it out. I would always recommend always be talking. Try your best to have a think about, watch back your streams, work out whether if you were to come in as a viewer, whether you'd stick around. And it can be very, very hard because listening back to yourself and watching yourself can be very, very tricky. So I do appreciate that. That can be an awkward situation. I will answer it a little bit more in a few moments as well, but unfortunately we've got an ad coming up. I don't have any snooze left over. So I'm going to see you guys in about 3 minutes. Sorry.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
Right, we're back. And then in an attempt to keep Johnson around for a little bit longer, let's play a round of Icons Bingo. Very, very harsh. The best way to greet you to being 18 is to give you a list of players from before you were born. So, if you pop on over to that lovely little link I've popped in chat, don't worry, I'll explain the rules if you're not familiar. When I click start, each player gets a unique bingo card with 16 squares. On those squares, you will get different criteria like a nationality or a club or an award. We then get 60 players revealed to us one after the other. We get 10 seconds to decide whether they match one of those squares on the board. If they do, you click on it. Once you click on it, it's locked in. You can't undo it. You can't put another player that comes up later in there. So if they don't match, you click skip or you let 10 seconds run out. And it's all for just a bit of fun, but we do have some very, very smart and competitive folks in the chat. We'll give it about a minute and a half to let people join in, and we'll see how we can do, whether the chase down of Zera will continue, whether Crodmo can get a second bingo in a row, whether Mr. Grizzly P can continue his wonderful form. Just last week, he got bingo 3 times in a row. Sensational stuff. Now, El Wall, if you're still around, I will say I did have a quick little check over on your channel during the break there, and it looks like you've been back for 2 days. So, I mean, other thing as well is like you've got, it takes time. You've got to build up that audience, and all you can do is concentrate on making sure you give people a reason to stay. So good luck with it all. Good luck with it all. Right, let's see. RJ redeemed it indeed there. So what did Max Padilla do to be the patient in the next Moneyball clinic? Specifically, it's what Max Padilla didn't do. So in his first season with us at Famalicão, he struggled to be progressive, or he wasn't as progressive as I expected. So we take a look into that. We're going to analyze. So we're going to talk. So I'm talking a bit about what is a progressive pass, what that actually means as a definition. Then we look at why his progressive pass numbers weren't that good. So I'm going to go through and I analyze passes from a game to see whether he's missing those opportunities, or whether it's a result of some tactical instructions that means he's being as progressive as he can be. It's just he doesn't get as many opportunities as I was hoping for. Then we learn how to make changes, and that's going to be what we're doing. So a real proper deep dive into the minutia of stat for the next one. Right. That's time up. Let's start the game. So Coatiba thought it was going to be Friday Only Connect. It's not. I've spared you. From Friday Only Connect this week. Right, let's pop on in, head on over, and it should be underway about now. And we start with that famous legend, Johan Cabai. Definitely the most clearly known icon of all times. And then we've got Michael Ballack. And Michael Ballack's a very, very good player. Very, very good player, and I'm pretty certain he must have won a World Cup with... Oh, did they win the Euros, though? They won the Euros, not the World Cup. I could have played him for others. I need to... So, Juninho, the free kick taking Juninho probably was born... No, I don't know if he was born in the 80s, actually. No, he must have been 70s. Ibrahim Afellay, Dutch, played for Barcelona. I don't see any of those. DeMarcus Beasley. Beasley. Sorry, that's that's definitely an in-joke with friends that I can't remember the origin of. It's just like a reflex. I hear it and I naturally just go Beasley. I have no idea where that even came from. Right, Benny McCarthy. Was he there during the Ferguson era? I know he had that unsuccessful loan spell. Like Lucio. Was he at Roma? Let's not risk things that I'm not sure on. So Jamie Redknapp, will give him a skip there. Lauren suggested earlier, one of the players suggested earlier for FM Llama's greatest non-British Premier League 11 of all time, a cracking player. Absolutely cracking player. Michael Laudrup. I feel like Laudrup could have won a UEFA Cup. I've talked about being not being risky and making stupid moves, and then I'm just like, yeah, F it. Laudrup for the UEFA Cup. Why not just chuck it out there? Rigobert Song wasn't Senegalese, so we can leave that one. It was Metzelder that ended up at Real Madrid, right? I hope it was. Right, Lampard surely crossed paths during their Fabregas's time at Chelsea. And Montella is most definitely Italian. Igor Tudor was at Juventus. And Jose Antonio Reyes, it's Spanish. Robert Pires played for Aston Villa. In fact, I don't know why it took so long to think about that one. Right, Vicente, I don't think he matches any of those. We're going to skip that one. Robin van Persie, that can go there. Lars Ricken, he's too old. Phil Babb is too old as well. Helder Postiga, I think he might be born in the same year as me. I think he's like an 85. I think he was 18 in Champs 03-04. So that's why I'm playing that one. Was Arbeloa in any of the Spain World Cup squads? I'm not confident enough to play that, unfortunately. I don't think Ozil ever played for Roma. He's not Senegalese. He didn't win the Ballon d'Or. Was it a World Cup? Did they win the World Cup? No, they won the World Cup, not the Euros, Germany. They won the World Cup, not the Euros. It's against Argentina, right? The Goetze goal was against Argentina. Valon Behrami. Not feeling good on that one. Salif Jao for Senegal. Monday, Tuesday, Habib Bey. Don't think he went to China. I don't think Jeremy Matthew has won a World Cup. Or Jean-Alain Boumsong. Artur Boruc. Artur Boruc feels like a player that could have gone to Roma at some point during his career. Don't think Piszczek did. I don't think he went to China. I don't think he went to Roma. Definitely didn't win the Ballon d'Or. Neither did Brad Friedel. Landon Donovan, he could have gone to China. Sean Wright Phillips should have won the Ballon d'Or. And should Costel Pantilimon. 6'8", see? Or 6'9", Pantilimon? Stekelenburg, I'm certain he was at Roma. Tim Howard now. So we've got 17 left. I'm looking for a World Cup winner, a Ballon d'Or winner, and someone that played in the Chinese Super League. I feel like Remy is a player that definitely would have considered playing in China. Laurent Blanc won the World Cup. So now it's Ballon d'Or winners. We know Hristo Stoichkov is a Ballon d'Or winner. That was mentioned earlier. George Weah in 95. Tim Cahill should have won it every single season. Juan Pablo Angel should have won it every single season he was eligible. Yep, Stam, I don't think. Paolo Maldini. I don't think Paolo Maldini won the Ballon d'Or. He definitely, like, I've been ironic with the last few, but Maldini should be a Ballon d'Or winner, right? David Pizarro, Maxit Pereira, Johan Cruyff. Didn't we establish this previously, that the Ballon d'Or was after Johan Cruyff? So it would also mean it was after Puskas. Cannavaro did win it though, right? He was the last offender to win. GNG, sensational work, sir. Sensational. You say it's a fluke, but you should take all the credit. There's a bingo, and there's a gap. Welsh Smithy, Crodmo, Grizzly P, 14 out of 16. Sensational work for joint second. And then in joint fifth, we have DMB. We have draw. Brilliant, brilliant work. I am shocked, by the way. I am shocked that Lampard never played with Fabregas in that Chelsea midfield. I would have thought that they had. I thought Lampard didn't leave Chelsea until much, much later in his career. So there must have been some crossover, but I'm wrong. I'm very much wrong. So I see GNG. GNG collapses DM bassist. Exactly. Welsh Smithy. Very, very happy with that for sure. Ballack never won the Champions League. That's a shock. RJ, though, consistently within that 27 to 33 range. Crodmo's unhappy with his performance. Johnson, that was bad and now be gone. Have a wonderful evening, Johnson. So Triangles, that was terrible. You also misclicked on Frank Lampard for Roma, which is an amusing idea. I mean, it could have been quite fun. He did. He won it 3 times, Cruyff. There we go. Was Cannavaro not the first defender to win the Ballon d'Or? Exactly. That's Beckenbauer won it too. Fair enough. Normal bingo is impossible. 30 points in Icons bingo is even more impossible. It is a tricky one. That is for sure. That's for sure. Also, there are a lot of Newcastle players in that bingo. Were there? I didn't think there was Demba Ba. I didn't notice. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just like I can't I can barely remember anything that happened a minute ago. Kawatibi, you got the loud drops mixed up for Rangers. Oh, that's frustrating. That is frustrating. Now, Triangles, I will get your message from a little bit earlier. So you said you tried streaming FM for a while on Twitch. Was actually starting to get okay viewership in the first month. 5 to 10 per stream is brilliant. But the issue was honestly just being able to commit to a proper streaming schedule. I feel like that's the downfall of a lot of small streamers. Absolutely. I mean, it's a downfall. It's very, very tricky unless you're in a position where you can do it full time. You know, you've got to squeeze it around your availability with other things have to take priority. And you know, I've been unemployed for a while, and I struggle with consistency because trying to edit videos and life and various different appointments and stuff makes it really, really tricky. So even for those full timers, it's tough. So RJ, you say you didn't know that Pires played for Villa. He did for a single season. So there's Demba Ba and Cabaye, indeed. Oh, Habib Bey, of course. Jean-Alain Boom Song, absolutely. And Zera has come in. He's dropped. He doesn't make the top 5. I do wonder how that shakes out the scores. Right, let's head back to a little bit of FM, shall we? So there's one more friendly to go, and then we back into league action. It's against Base 96. Let's see. Bernie Arce's goal. I mean, it was a fine goal. Such a good goal that I am 100% going to watch it again. Can we do camera angles from this one, or does it always just choose director? It's just director angle. So here we go. Albert Navarro charging down the left, finds Raskin across to Bernie Arce, takes a touch, fires it low and hard from 26 yards. Lebanon never had a chance. Never had a chance. Navarro makes team of the month as well. Good for him. Pisa's Serie under 19s player of the month. Not quite so impressive an award. So yeah, there's Loic Remy as well. We had the better. DM bassist, absolutely right. Rangers had the greatest of the loud drops. So you can prefer the vastly weaker of the two players, that's fine, but facts. Oh, how dare you? How dare you? Everyone knows that Brian was the greater of the two. Without doubt. Brian Laudrup spent most of his best years playing in, yes, a farmers league. And there was nothing wrong with farmers. They are the salt of the earth. They are what we require to live and eat. I mean, do you prefer the Prawn Sandwich League? The Prawn Sandwich League doesn't exist without farmers of the sea. That's what I call fishermen. 100%. I've always called them farmers of the sea. Don't question me on that. Don't question me whatsoever on that. Please don't salt the earth. It stops things growing. That's true. That's true. I don't even eat fish. That's why I call them farmers of the sea. I've never had a need to know what the correct term is because I don't eat fish. Exactly, RJ. Nothing wrong with farmers. But Crudno's trying to backtrack now. Look at that. After you say it, he says there's nothing wrong with farmers, but he was clearly throwing shade at farmers. I think you should remember that for tomorrow night's draft. I think you should go out there and hard tackle every single one of his players in the hope of injuring them all. Now, let's just clear we might as well just say pick unpick positions for. So they're not going to pick entire team? Wow. Doesn't even want to do that. Do we have nobody available for this friendly? Let's add the senior team in as well. Pick without restrictions, entire team. So we're only able to name 6 real substitutes. That's fine. Maybe I should have checked these things before I arranged those friendlies. Yeah, well. The Uber Eats League needs farmers. Exactly. I mean, Uber Eats wouldn't exist without it. It only makes sense. Only makes sense. Liverpool are about to sign Newcastle's best player. Farmers League confirmed. I mean, all power concentrated at the top. Corruption runs rife, right? Corruption runs rife. So RJ, it's been a while since you went fishing. You should go back. I understand. I can understand how fishing is a very, very therapeutic activity. Just sitting there, the sound of like the river water, nice and relaxing. My only issue with it is the fish part of it. I mean, they've got, like, you catch a fish, right? And you then pull it out there, and it's got its weird little eyes on the side of its head, and it's all scaly and slimy. And I think that's, I mean, I don't like the flavour of fish, but I'm pretty certain that my opinion, like, there is something psychosomatic about it all, right? Like, because I don't like fish make me feel weird, that I subsequently, so on a subconscious level, I'm like, therefore they must taste bad. I don't give them a fair chance. So Cromo says he wants us to know that that he thinks that we're all bastards to him. It's deserved though. It's deserved. Right, when do players come back? They are now all back from international duty from the looks of that. So let's unfilter all these. What players need a rest? Llama needs a rest. Antipasta needs a rest. Doner Kebab needs a rest. Hisuki and Rod need a rest. So let's get these guys rested for a couple of days before the upcoming game. So Triangles is surprised Isaac wanted to go, considering Newcastle are playing Champions League. I mean, I can certainly understand Isaac wanting to go for a team that he has maybe more confidence will consistently be in the Champions League. You know, obviously the last time that Newcastle made it in, you then had a season that you really struggled with injuries, and you dropped out of the top 4 or top 5 as it was the following season. So I can certainly understand that there may be a belief that to consistently play in the Champions League, he needs a move. I'm kind of surprised that he wants to go to Liverpool, because they've just spent big money on Ekitike. That's direct competition. They haven't moved on Darwin Núñez. Yeah, sure, of course he comes in as the starter ahead of Núñez. But I could see him more wanting to hold out for a team like Barcelona, maybe for another year. I think he'd fit in really well at someone like PSG. I'm just surprised that it's Liverpool that he's kind of angling for. All right, Maestro's got to go. No worries. Thank you so much for dropping by, my dude. Lovely to have you. Have a wonderful weekend. Núñez is getting sold to Saudi now. Fair enough. Is that just in? What a surprise. Saudi coming to the rescue for every Premier League team. How much is he allegedly going to be sold for? Is this going to be something like eye-watering, that they're going to make a profit on him despite really underwhelming? So Quadmo, we still like you there, Mustermann. Yet you've got weird eyes on the side of your head, and I'm scaly and slimy. I am definitely slimy. I'm not scaly. I won't stand for that. I am not scaly. I'm slimy. I've got weird eyes. 100%. Hairy is perhaps worse. Hairy is perhaps worse than scaly as well. So Triangles says you may be right. Newcastle have a strong starting 11 as anyone in the Prem, but lack depth maybe to so struggle when they're having to play in Europe too. I mean, and obviously, as I say, like that season, the last time you were in the Champions League, you had a lot of injuries, and ultimately the battle came down at the end of that season. It was Villa, it was Tottenham, it was Newcastle. All three of us, we were the top 3 teams for injuries that season in the Premier League, and like it was the ability to handle those injuries that really separated the 3 teams. And you obviously had more games to play because of Champions League that year. Actually, no, we played more games because we were in the Conference League. But you can play weaker players in the Conference League, so there's a little bit more rotation is possible in those situations. So yeah, improve the depth, but also I think some of it came down to luck that season. Some of it came down to very, very poor luck. Actually, did it. Because, like, if I think about Newcastle over the last 20 years, Newcastle seem to have this remarkable ability to sign the most injury-prone players that have ever existed. To the point where you've got to wonder whether there is, like, something in the water, or whether they have, like, this really bad physio that works there that is sabotaging the team over the last 20 years, potentially. So you thought Isak would go to Arsenal, but then they went and signed Gyökeres. I think that would have been a much better signing for us. I like Gyökeres. I hope he does well. I have concerns, but I had concerns about Gyökeres going to Sporting, and he proved me wrong over there as well. So, you know, what do I know? Right, so DMB wants us to look up just Alba. He's now 30 years old, currently playing for Sestao River. That doesn't bode well. So his career, he went to Tanana, didn't play, and then he's kicked around the lower leagues in Spain. Let's have a look here. Antequera got relegated. So they went from the Primera Federation to the Segunda, then dropped out entirely, moved back to the Primera, got relegated once again. Segunda, Primera. He's wow. Poor Alva. So that is, in his career so far, he's got 1 relegation, 2 relegations, 3 relegations, 4 relegations, and he barely plays during that time. So we won't know anything about his attributes, anything more than that. Doesn't look like a player that FM has high expectations for, I'm afraid to say. So 70 million euros. Okay, so they should make a loss on Nunes. I suppose that's kind of okay. Still feels a little bit inflated, right? A hairy fish is a pretty weird thing. It would be, wouldn't it? It would. Triangles questions whether Gyökeres will even start over Havertz. That's a bold take. But then, if Gabriel Jesus is fit, you know that Jesus fits in with what Arteta tries to do. He's certainly more of that kind of false 9 type of player. So it'll be interesting to see what the plans are to adapt for Gyökeres, because surely they're not going to try and squeeze Gyökeres into that false 9 kind of mold. And right, so let's name the squad. It's Atabolo. We've got Rod. Rod is fit enough for this game. That's fine. So I say Rod is fit enough for this game, and then I put Hasuki in. So Rod there, Navarro. Let's give Bernie Arse another start. What's our midweek game? Atalanta. That's all right. So on the right, we're going to start Lucas Roman. We're going to have Ardagula behind. We're going to have Benato. And we're going to start Antipasta. He's back from injury. Marvellous stuff. Then everyone on the bench. Nice and easy. We're almost going to fill a bench for like the first time in our with Inter. Or with Inter? With AC even. Right, let's get ourselves another win. Newcastle have to sell, cannot buy players to strengthen due to rules put in place to keep power and power with an elite few. You know my opinion on that. I'm like, I think that they can certainly be improved, but also, the rules are in place that allow you to make £105 million loss over the course of 3 seasons. It's not even like if they were proper sustainability rules, you shouldn't even be allowed to make a loss, right? So actually, the rules are quite lax by comparison. Right, again, we're going to say relax, 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 relax. Nobody's responded this time round. Here we go. So as a Newcastle fan, it'd be interesting to see Isaac at Liverpool, where he's not the big fish. When he was a big fish when he was at Sociedad and now Newcastle. Indeed. I think that could be really good for him, because having, like, at Newcastle, at Sociedad, the focus is virtually entirely on Isaac. So having other players to take the attention could be a very good thing. I want to make sure the marking is right. So you should be on Pobega. You should be on Ferguson. You should be. Yep, that's right. You're on the right one. You should be on the defence midfielder. So you should be on Barrenechea. Should have done that before the game, but hopefully no harm, no foul. That said, the changes come in, and straight away we've got a Bologna highlight. Or not, Atabolo. Atabolo's going to play it out wide to Navarro. Good lad. Navarro inside. Ardagula shields the ball well, plays it across to Ars. He has to go back to Monterisi though. He finds Pocho. Pocho plays it through. Antipasta from distance, and Safanov gets across, tips it behind for the corner. So Ryan says, we did, but James Bunce has come in and improved the physio side of Newcastle. Has he improved it though? You still have injury problems, right? At team basis, what a career. He's played a decent amount of games. Oh no, he's not. So right on about the signing injury-prone players point. For many years, the transfer policy seemed to be French and made of glass. Yeah, it did, didn't it? It did indeed. Alba is the Spanish Aaron Ramsdale. I should have checked whether he was Catalan, because then that's the one set of pronunciation I can get right, because in Catalan, B's are pronounced as V and V's are pronounced as B, so he'd be Alva. But if he's not Catalan, like Jordi Alba, he would have been Alba.
Milan, come together, clap your hands, save me. Storm goes AC Milan.
There we go. Look at Pocho. Finds the space, cuts it across. Paolo Bonato, 1-0. That's better. That is better. So apparently with the Nunes sale, with accounting, they get a profit because it's more than his current value. No, so yeah, that makes sense in terms of like accounting. So when you amortize Bernie Arse does it again.
Milan have scored again. Yes, Milan, they score night and day. You can get away.
Oh, Bernie Arse, he only scores bangers. What a lovely, lovely goal. Okay, that's 2 shots on target, 2 goals. I feel like we are getting the luck turning, finally. So this is where we now throw it away. Yeah, so essentially, if you sign a 4-year contract and you buy a player for £60 million, that counts as 15 million each year. And that becomes their book value as Bonato. Oh, here we go.
Turning Milanese got me turning Milanese when the score goes. Turning Milanese got me turning Milanese when the score goes. Turning Milanese got me turning Milanese when the score goes.
Ba ba da ba 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 ba. Here, this is what we've been missing. This is what we've been missing. Ardagula to Pocho to Antipasta.
Take that away from me.
So the question being, will Arsenal adapt to a pure poacher? And people have mentioned that Man City adapted to Haaland for sure, but also Aguero wasn't really a full sign. Aguero is someone that was comfortable on the ball, but was much more direct, I would say, than you would associate, say, Gabriel Jesus or like Messi when he played up front. He was a different profile for sure. Like Haaland is power as well as a threat in behind. But does Arteta have the chops to adapt accordingly? As Raskin looks to make it 5, it's a good save from Safanov. Have United signed anybody yet? They have indeed. Matches Cunha and Brian Mbremo, which is an interesting. Apparently, they're in negotiations with Sesko, so that could be interesting as well. I've heard that maybe Bruno might be on the move to Saudi Arabia once again. So apparently more bids are coming in. I do think that, sure, Højlund, Xerxes hasn't worked out particularly well for them so far. Arda Güler makes it 5. Is he offside though? The flag stayed down. It looked like a lovely run. Looked like a lovely run to me. And it counts.
Fans, it's because AC Milan will come on. Let's go mental in the stands. Goals for the fans, it's because AC Milan will come on. Let's go mental in the stands.
Boom. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. How tight was it? It looked like it really timed well to me. He doesn't even make it onto the screen. Nice. Nice. Cunha and Mbremo are going to be Cuncha and Mbrembo soon enough. They're good names. I like that. Cuncha and Mbrembo. Pizza pasta. Bologna do not deserve this whatsoever. It's like the last few games have all been is it because the last few games it's balancing out, or is it because Antipasta is back from injury and now we've got someone up top to properly cause problems? It's all finally coming together. So Welsh Smithy, your cousin has completed her first season with Everton. Asked her what kind of signing she wanted, so she signed Wissa for 15 million. James Ward-Prowse for 14 million, which is a release clause. Oh, Bonato almost gets the hat-trick there. Her transfer plan, sign Premier League proven so they don't take ages to adapt. She clearly knows what she's doing. So Kushti says that Bruno ain't going to Saudi. I've seen the rumours that they're coming through once again. I do wonder if there's a cash flow reason that it might need to happen as well. I suppose we've got to say good things. Let's go with that. Pizza Pasta gets his goal and then picks up a knock though, sadly. So we're going to bring in Doner Kebab. Other than that, we should be good to go in the second half. Let's tell Doner Kebab that I want to see a good performance from him because he's looking a little bit complacent. Let's see what happens in the second half. Almost certainly going to be like no more goals or just one goal for Bologna. That's the way it happens, right? She wants to sell DCL because he's so injury prone, but is looking for a like for like. Fair shout there. So Man United's plan is to buy only strikers and sell the rest. I think they really like. I like Kobbie Mainoo. I think that he could be a very exciting player. But Casemiro and Ugarte, I like Ugarte. Casemiro is showing his age, as is Eriksen. I think that they've got Toby Collier, looks like he could be okay as like a depth option, but surely they need more in that deep midfield position. Surely. Right, we will look to make some more changes in a moment. Rod is tired, so we're going to bring him off. I think that we're going to bring Osazua on for Antipasta. Antipasta's just back from injury. That's why we're looking to not risk too much there. Yeah, there are rumours of Sesko going to Man United. Oh, I'd love Sesko in the Premier League. I think that'd be exciting. I think that he might take a year or two to properly bed in and settle. Here's Piccoli in behind. Good save from Matabolo. Oh, he's offside anyway. I think he might take a year or so to settle in. So I'm not sure whether Man United is the right team for him. I think Man United needs something a little bit more ready. Like Welsh Smithy's cousin. Need to take advice from Welsh Smithy's cousin. Get Premier League proven players at this particular point. So Triangles wants Sesko to go to Newcastle if Isak goes. I think that... Look, I'm constantly... Oh, what a goal from Lewis Ferguson. Beautiful stuff. I'm constantly trying to sell off Ollie Watkins, but I would like to see Newcastle go for a player like Watkins. I think that would fit in really nicely with what they're doing and make sure that they have a proven commodity. If they could get, say, Watkins and Seshko, even better. Even better. Let's make those changes. So, Blue Lions, you had to go towards the start. Now you're back to this. What happened? We finally learned how to score, although Osasuna is now down injured. Osasuna still doesn't have a goal for us yet this season. Oh, Sydney. Yeah, he's all right. He's absolutely fine. No problem. Here he is, setting up Llama. Llama's shot, though, is blocked. So RJ wants to offer. Raskin is now coming off. Don't be silly, Raskin. Oh, have I made all my subs? No, he's not coming off. I'm really good at tracking my subs, eh? Really good at knowing what's going on. Let's pop you on. He's off. He's now marking. Since they've changed formation, the marking is all wrong, but it's 81st minute. No need to mess around with anything more here. Bonato tries to make a sliding tackle in their box. Interesting. Thought he was about to get himself sent off yet again this season. Ardagula back. No worries there. No worries. Yeah, RJ wants to get rid of Vasquez. No surprising. Blue Lions wants to offer Nicholas Jackson for £100 million. Triangles thinks that the best striker that could be reasonably bought is Osman, but nobody seems to want the bloke. I would love to know what's happening behind the scenes with Osman, because like he seems to be getting this reputation of like people saying that he's a problem player, but yet I don't seem to see any like evidence of it. But somehow that means that players aren't wanting to, teams aren't wanting to move in on him, and I find that crazy. Hungermin wants United to have more midfielders. You have Hoyland and Bremo, Obi Martin, Xerxes, Maguire as strikers. Exactly. Maguire is obviously the key striker of the lot of them. Ericsson's gone now, probably going to Wrexham. That's crazy. That's crazy. So you honestly thought they would go for someone like Anana from Villa? I mean, if we can make a good profit out of it, I don't mind Anana leaving. He's a really, really good player. I really like Anana. But at the same token, if we sell him for say 80 or 90 million, we amortize the 60 million we bought him for across 5 years. That's 12 million off his value. That's 48 million. We would then make 42 million profit off it. And because we can amortize future transfers, that transfer alone could allow us to get in a couple of very, very good players as a result. Right, that's a decent result. Pizza Pasta's not injured too much as well, which is nice. Let's get these guys done there. And that, somewhat controversially, is probably going to be the last AC Milan game we play. Because we're going to switch on over to the committee. We've got a break coming up in 3 minutes' time. So we'll jump on that break, and then we're going to run on over to the committee. And what we're going to be doing there, so there's no voting tonight. We're just going to do a little review of what's happened in the first 6 months. We're going to look at what problems are coming up and what we might want to vote on Tuesday next week. So next week, the plans are that I'll be streaming Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, because I've got an appointment on Thursday morning. That means I don't want to stream Wednesday evening, and I like a day's gap in between. So tonight we will decide what we'll vote on Tuesday, so that during the course of the weekend I can do all the prep work for you guys. I can scout, I can recommend players, I can come up with suggestions based off of what you ask for. So yeah, let's head on over. Whilst we pop into the break, I will then load up the the different colour skin for JEF United. I'll load up the save and we'll do a review of the first 6 months. Cool. I will see you guys in 3 minutes.
I'm European champion, so I'm not one of the bottle. I think I'm a special one.
Right, I'm coming back before the ads are over to say hello to the glorious, the wonderful, the beautiful man, occasionally known as Dictator Murderfart, occasionally known as Wheelchair Bastard, the glorious Holifab. Welcome in, my dude. If you haven't already gone off back to sleep, lovely to see you. I hope you are doing well, my man. We are going to switch on over to a little round of top 10 as well. I've managed to work out a way by just deleting the image that works that we can actually play it as well. So we will do that, and then we will switch over to JEF United and see how things are going. So for those guys that don't know, the ads are now over. Let me explain how top 10 works. It's a really, really straightforward game, right? Otherwise known as tenable, potentially. In a few moments, just below me there, you're going to have some criteria revealed, and I'm asking you to name the top 10 players that meet that criteria. You just need to pop their name into chat. If my brain's just stopped working, it is their surname that you need to enter. However, if there are more than one player with the same surname, for example, like the most capped Denmark players would include both Laudrups, you will need to then provide both their first name and surname. It also happens to contain both Schmeichels as well. Spelling matters. You need to spell the name correctly. However, if they have an accent in the name, like one of those little accents over an E, you can include it or not. It will pick them up both. If you make a correct guess before the criteria is revealed, I will then hide it again, so it won't count, sadly. Getting in guesses early doesn't help you, unfortunately. Exactly like that. Exactly like that. Steve is there. Right. Let's reveal the criteria then, shall we? Today, we are looking for the most capped Chilean international footballers. Top 10 most capped footballers. So we've got early guesses in for Sanchez. We've got Gary Medel. Gary Medel's in there in second. We've got Vidal from Coritiba. Wonderful work there. Who picked up Claudio Bravo? It looks like Crodmo might have got there in with he said Bravo. Do we allow Bravo? Well, that'll be a question to go for a little bit later down. Someone picked him. RJ with Beausejour. Fabulous work there. Fabulous work. Zeren Chul has come in with Aaron Give. Beautiful work there. Isla's off the board now from DM basis, as is Eduardo Vargas. Hung De Min correctly realizes that Alexis Sanchez needs to be a full name. And Coritiba picks up Yara. So we kind of know some of the of number 10, but can we work out who 10 is? You've already been given a clue as to the answer for 10 by virtue of what's already happened so far. But does anyone know the final Chilean player? And there it is. Zerba comes in right at the end with Lionel Sanchez. It is Lionel Sanchez indeed. Coritiba just a few fractions afterwards. CJ, Mr. Grizzly P all come in as well. But unfortunately, Zerba just pipped you all to the post. Fabulous work, guys. Absolutely fabulous work, guys. The top 10 capped Chilean players. Alexis Sanchez, Gary Medel, Claudio Bravo, Arturo Vidal, Mauricio Ayla, Eduardo Vargas, Gonzalo Yara, Jean Beausejour, Charles Aranguiz, and Lionel Sanchez. Sensational work. Sensational work. I mean, in particular, RJ. I mean, John Beausejour, that's a fantastic pickup. Because, yes, he's a player that's known, but, I don't know how many people would have come to mind as him being in the top 10. Right, shall we head on over and give a little bit of a catch up on JEF United then? So we don't have the funky screen for this one because we're not going to be voting tonight. But I'm going to pop on in and we're going to see our very first competitive game. It was an away match between us, obviously, and Tochigi SC. We came into this game missing a lot of players. In pre-season, we were absolutely ravaged. We ended up with basically our midfield missing. And so right off the bat, Inami scores a penalty to give them a lead. Dudu with a penalty to equalise. This is going to become a recurring theme. Tagichi aren't a good team, I have to point out. Ishidas with the cross in, horrible error from Ishio for Fujihara to sweep in 2-1 after 28 minutes. But in the second half, oh no, this was the end. Was it? Yeah, I think it was the second half. Dudu sends it across Kojima with a glorious left foot volley. Beautiful stuff. And then right towards the end, here is Dudu the midfielder, finds Naito. Naito on as a substitute, making his debut, sweeps it in, 10 minutes remaining. One game, one win. Beautiful stuff. And it's been pretty beautiful stuff ever since then. We did drop points at home to Zweigen Kanazawa. I believe, Rich, you were with Zweigen for a while if you're about in chat. And again, it was Yamato Naito scoring the goal for us. Here comes Zweigen, Nagata coming through completely unchallenged, plays it out wide, Kato sweeps in, Higashi couldn't make the save. But in the 54th minute, Fukamitsu, our 33-year-old right winger, gets down the flank, feeds Naito, and he sweeps it in to make it 1-1. So I did see, Kwame, I did see that you said, Holifab said his meds have kicked in. He's gone to sleep. Holofab said his meds have kicked in, so he's gone to sleep. Holofab said his meds have kicked in, so he's gone to sleep. Holofab says that his meds have kicked in, so he's gone to sleep. Indeed. And so those were our first points dropped. We then lost away from home against Roasso Kumamato. Roasso Kumamato are our arch nemesis. I have decided. They're Nishikibo, a player that we agreed to get rid of over the transfer window. Plays it out wide, and there's Kuroki in off the post. A lovely, lovely finish. And then we jump back. Kajima intercepts, feeds Dudu, and Dudu has been a goal machine, I am pleased to say, to make it 1-1, 15 minutes remaining. But coming right up to the end, a careless pass from midfielder Dudu. Then Togo takes aim from distance. Suji should have done better. But there are some big teams out there that we've had some pretty good results against. Kawasaki Frontale relegated from the J1 last season. We absolutely spanked them at their place. And you will see another recurring theme. And this is a corner. Second phase, comes across to Ishio, our centre-back. Curls one in, into the side netting. Beautiful stuff. And then it's a throw-in. Noburizato sends the cross in. Fukimitsu, in at the back post, 2-0. And then it's another corner. This time Kajima with the header. Ando goes sprawling across his goal, can't keep it out. And we were good value for the win. This isn't just a flash in the pan. We were pretty damn good. So Quadmo, actually he said peace out bitches, but close enough. But his meds have indeed kicked in, as have mine indeed. Johnson, what a solid opening game for the Zweite Bundesliga. Schalke 2, Hertha 1. I mean, they are the perpetual second division teams that are never going to get themselves promoted at this rate. RJ, you like our possession. You will really like our possession. As we can see, we've been doing pretty damn well. Shonan Belmar are currently a J1 side. We beat them 4-2 on aggregate in the J League Cup. We then beat is it Belgatasel guys? Not the one I was looking for. J League Cup. Oh, Emperor's Cup. Sanfrecce Hiroshima, another J1 side, away from home in the cup. We also won that game. And every game's the same. 30, 35, 40% possession. Absolutely sensational stuff. Here's Kajima out wide to Fukimitsu. Fukimitsu feeds it in. Kajima, who's been our starter. We'll talk about Frank Romero in a few moments' time. Got some key goals from midfield. Corners are such a theme everywhere we go. John Higashi sending it long. There's the direct play. Naito in behind. What a glorious pickup he's been. He made it 2-1. The last 10 minutes of this game were crazy. Naito then scores a penalty 3 minutes later to put us 3-1 up. In the 88th minute, Kagawa into Asano. He plays the ball over the top and Moberg sweeps it in. Lovely finish. Sometimes the defensing is a little bit careless. And then in the 93rd minute, Matsuda to Fukimitsu. Fukimitsu, glorious stuff. 4-2. So yeah, let's just take a little look at the J2 table. We are currently 4 points clear. We have the best attack in the league. We've scored 59 goals. We have the second best defence with conceding only 26. Fujieda are the only team nearby. They've conceded 25. They just about beat us out there. But average per possession, Roasso, 62%. JEF United Chiba, merely 41% possession. We truly are a counter-attacking team. Glorious stuff. So Johnson says, overall a very solid performance from Schalke, doing very well for 88 minutes until they scored an own goal and got maybe already the most stupid red card of the season made for a nervy ending. Sounds marvellous. And so Kawasaki having to play Metal Gear blind. They can't understand the plot at all. There we go. I guess Schalke can't do it without drama. Doesn't seem that way. Welcome in, Momo Man. How you doing? Came to see AC Milan, confused to see JEF Peanut Butter United. The logo clearly looks clearly looking to reach for the tub. Yes, so we're We've now switched over to the committee, and we're going to be, this is the thing that when we vote is only on Twitch, but this session is just a review of what's happened in the first 6 months, and we're going to make our decisions as to what we need to vote on Monday. Yeah, sensational stuff. We barely have any of the ball. You would think, though, for a team with 41% of the ball, maybe we're really, really good in the air. And we're decent. We're in 6th. But our 53% header win rate is a long, long way off Kawasaki Frontale. We get a lot of bookings. We are the 5th worst in terms of bookings. And we've got 1 red card, whilst a couple of other teams have got 2. Generally speaking, though, pretty good. If we look at expected goals for, we are exactly where we should be. We've scored a few more. We've scored about like 59 goals. So we're 11 goals over our XG. But we should be top of the table. So if we look here, not quite 11. Aheen, Kawasaki Frontale, Vegalta, all overperforming by much, much more. However, some of that XG is penalties. We've had 5 penalties already this season, and we've conceded, I think it's 6. Where's penalties conceded? I'm sure I've seen this down here somewhere. Or was it in something stupid? Final third, opposition. It's shots, penalties conceded. Yeah, so we've conceded 6 penalties. There are a lot of penalties. And this is a good point to also talk about other set pieces. I haven't touched set pieces. I just ran through the wizard because I don't want that to give us an unfair advantage. But we've scored double the amount of goals from corners from any other team. We've scored more goals from indirect free kicks than every other team. We've not got anything from direct free kicks though. Against, it's kind of middle of the pack. Where are we? Conceded from corners. We've conceded 5. From direct free kicks, we haven't conceded any. And from indirect, we haven't conceded any. So you can kind of see we've got a decent amount of goals from set pieces, a decent amount of goals from set pieces. Kojima jump starting attacks, creating Metal Gear after Metal Gear. Indeed. Hideo Kojima, that's the secret trick we've got there. So Schalke is a team I should consider for save. Fallen Giants are a fine suggestion. A fine suggestion. So sad that Dudu is not top goal scorer, but he's not far off. Our goal was to feed Dudu as much as possible. We've built the tactic around Dudu being our poacher, and he's got 15 goals so far this season. He's scoring 0.64 per 90. 4 of those goals are penalties, it's worth pointing out. He's never going to be a player that wins headers, but for a poacher, he's getting really involved. He's dropping and getting the ball. He's carrying the ball. He's creating chances for others. He's been really, really good. Really, really good. He's not our top scorer, though. He's not our top scorer. When you defend a lot, you get a lot of bookings. A fair point. Yamato Naito has been our top scorer. He's got 16 goals. A number of them have come in cup competitions. So he's not scored as many in the league as Dudu, but 0.81 per 90 is pretty damn ridiculous. As a false 9, and that's how we've been using him as our link striker most of the time, he's been really, really dribbly. He's been creating much more chances for others as well, 0.17 expected assists. And he also plays as the poacher when we need to rest Dudu. So he's played like a couple of games as a poacher, I think, over the course of the season so far. So if we pop here, when he comes on, it looks like he plays as a poacher as well. That's obviously down to the assistant manager when the games are instant resulted. Occasionally he's come on as a target forward, but he's played a lot of games. He's scored a lot of goals, which is quite nice. So also very weird debut for Katic, the former Rangers player, scored the eventual winner and then decided to start playing volleyball instead, and will now already miss game week 2. That's what you want. That's a debut. That's a debut you want. Welcome in West Ham United for your sins. Spoke to you in Culture Left Foot stream. Fabulous. Lovely to have you in, my dude. How are you doing? Right. We've had some horror injuries. Some horror injuries. At the start of the season, we signed, as identified by you guys, I can't remember how to pronounce his first name, but Okazaki. Okazaki, a week before the season started, picked up a hip injury, was out for 2 months. Not great. He's since come back and he's doing very, very well. 8% tackles won, 76% headers won. And Ryogo Ishio, who made that horrible error in that first game, has played a lot more than expected. His tackling hasn't been great, but his headers have been pretty decent. So 76% header win rate is great. He's obviously got that lovely goal we saw curled in from the edge of the area from a corner. Frank Romero started the season as our starting midfielder and was pretty decent. Couple of assists. Things looked like they were going all right. He was winning his tackles, safe on the ball, creating chances. He then tore his calf muscle and has been out since April. He hasn't quite come back into the starting lineup yet. He's still an orange injury right now. And that seems to have been the catalyst for him deciding to retire at the end of the season. I get it. I understand it. That seems reasonable and fair. So Basis really liked Katic at Rangers, had a horror injury and never really regained his form. He's a bit of a cult favourite. A fair shout. And the doo-doo chart is nice. It's just like the doo-doo fruit. So, Mr. Momo Man, yes, the Twitch vote save. I shall cast my vote on YouTube and be as useful as nipples on a man. Nipples on a man are very useful. Like when you're getting really, really anxious, you can tweak them. Another injury we've had was Takaigo Hashimoto. He was our big signing. He was the player that we kind of identified before we even took over at JEF United. He's played the equivalent of 11 games and only scored 3 goals. But that's fine because he's winning 64% of his headers. He is the perfect foil to Dudu. He unfortunately sprained his knee ligament right before the season started. 5 weeks out, took a little while to get up to fitness, so he hasn't had as many opportunities as we would have liked him to have. And I think it was a similar question for Noda. Noda, again, in the week before the season started, a 3-week injury, a thigh strain. He came back a little bit earlier, has been reasonably decent as well. 700 minutes, 3 goals is decent. 68% header win rate. He is retiring at the end of the season. There we go. It was Ryo Hay for that pronunciation. Thank you, Brazilian Fury. Thank you, my dude. So, WHU, good, thanks, mate. Loving the recent streams and video. Really appreciate it, my dude. Really appreciate it. Johnson suggests that Katic is that kind of player. Played really well, gave it his all until that red. And yeah, he'll give you 110%, but he's always going to be stupid. So, who else have we had injured? I think that's been it mainly. If we pop on over, we've just got the 3 injuries, but we've look at this compared to last season. So before we took over, they had barely any injuries, and we've gone through an absolute nightmare. We're finally starting to come under control, which is great. Absolutely great, but we're top of the league, nothing to worry about. Things that we need to consider going forwards. Number 1, we signed too many foreign players. Maximum of 4 foreign players. However, there are certain nationalities that don't count as foreign. I'll go and pop on over to the lovely little bit down here. Those nations are Thailand, Vietnam, Myanmar, Cambodia, Singapore, Indonesia, and Malaysia. I lied to you in the last stream. I thought that South Korea was included in that list. It's not. So we currently have 6 foreign players, and only 4 of them can be in the matchday squad. Subsequently, with Mendes being a guaranteed starter and both Dudus being a guaranteed starter, that leaves just 1 spot left over for Lee and Jay, for Kim Jin-rae, and for Paulo Henrique. They've therefore not played that much. And Leon J is unhappy. He's finding it difficult to settle in the area, and he's also complained about his game time. We've got a similar situation with Kim Jin-rae. He's unhappy and wants to go out to secure a permanent move. That could be more of an issue for us than Leon J, because Noboru Zato has been playing as our left back. 0.32 expected assists. Absolutely incredible. 10 assists, 3 goals, 34 years old. Also retiring at the end of the season. So after this season for sure, we will have no left backs. We need depth at centre back. We need potentially depth up front because Noda is retiring, and depth in midfield because Romero is retiring. That will be at the end of the season, but we might want to plan for it now. We also have Naoki Tsubaka. He's requested to leave because he wants to join a top team, and so we've said, okay, that's fine. You've got a minimum fee release clause that will be met. Tsubaka's been okay. He's currently injured, but 6 goals, 5 assists coming in off the left. Fine, but nothing special. Fukumitsu's contract is due to expire at the end of the season. He's been brilliant. He takes corners, has 6 goals and 17 assists in 25 games. He's described as a roundoid. He's 33 years old. He doesn't dribble much, but oh my, 0.49 expected assists is fabulous. Fabulous stuff. Do we have any other? Oh yes, the other player who will be out of contract at the end of the season is Dudu. He doesn't want to leave, but he hasn't asked to leave. I don't know if he wants a contract. Haven't discussed that. Dudu is out of contract, and so we'll probably need to make a decision on that side of things. So, let's have a look there. So I do apologise. It's exactly Mr. Momoman. It's the most important function, those nipples. So 1-0 to Luton. Fabulous stuff. Fabulous stuff. A wonder goal, apparently, says Willy Wonka. Who scored the goal? Never trust a dictator that turns democratic. That's fair. That's fair. Why are the Koreans angry? As I said, Hung Min, they're not getting much game time because we have too many foreign players. So Leon J, Kim Jin-rae, and Paulo Henrique have had to kind of rotate for a spot off and on the bench. So it's Mechelen have beaten Bruges 2-1. Nice. Very, very nice. So damn, the dreams of signing Son, Hee-chan, Kim Min-jae, and Lee Kang-in next year are out. Is Kwang Son-han from North Korea fair game? He would count as foreign, unfortunately. You should tell the cooks at JEF to not forget to serve the Korean players kimchi. Maybe they'll be less angry. That could be. Oh right, it was an own goal. A wonder own goal. Seems like something I need to check out after the stream's over. Right, so this is the state of play. Is there anything that people want to see currently within the game world? And then I want to know, and you guys can just pop it in chat. We're not going to vote on anything right now. Let us know what you want us to look at in preparation for the next vote. So if you say, I want to see if we can sign new left backs now, if you want us to talk about contracts for players now, selling players now, let me know what it is that you want. And the goalkeeper charts, absolutely. So Higashi was our starter initially. He's been pretty decent at sweeping, but he's conceded more goals than expected. So conceded 1.11 when the XG faced is around 0.96. So Shugo Suji has kind of got the start a little bit more often, and he's done very well. He's conceded 1.05 goals, but prevented 0.12. So he's faced roughly 1.17 when in goal. He's not as active sweeping. He's not as active, but for someone who's launching the ball long, he loses possession a lot, but could probably be an improvement in that regards. I should remind people about the tactical approach as well. So we have 3 tactics here. We have a flat 4-4-2, a 4-4-2 with double defensive midfielders, and a 4-2-4. So you've got normal, defensive, attacking. Often we've used this away from home and this at home, but we have played a few games with the 4-2-4 as well. So, what team does Kimchi play for? I see what you did there. Crudmo wants you to research a short list of Brazilians to sign. If they're half Japanese, half Brazilian, all the better. Okay, no worries. So I will take that forwards. Realistically, we've got 6 foreign players at the moment, and we can only put 4 in the squad. So if they're not half Brazilian, half Japanese, it's a very good chance they're not going to make a short list to come forwards. RG Sugi was my pick. I think Sugi was my pick as well. Not that I voted, but he was the one that I liked the most out of those choices. A quick reminder, actually, that the first choice, the player that had the most votes, was in fact Sun Jeong-hyun. Sun Jeong-hyun's doing okay over in Seoul, but he chose top division South Korean football over us, and I can't blame him for that, let's be fair. But he's doing pretty all right out there. So we ended up with our second and third choice goalkeepers as a result. So Crudmo wants us to use a squad rotation system. Amateur. I mean, within reason. As I say, because they can't even be on the bench. That's the biggest issue, is you are constantly leaving players out of the squad entirely. And that leads to players being a little bit unhappy. So Johnson wants to get Noah Lane in. Not sure if he'd still be finishing the save, but in real life plays for Malaysia, which was non-foreign, wasn't it? It was indeed. So rather than focusing on players, do we want to focus on specific positions that we want to vote on next week? Because what we're not going to do is vote through every single position every single time a vote comes up, because that will take hours. So you tell me what positions you want me to shortlist players for, or we want to have conversations on, and then we will work from there. And yeah, if you want us to talk about specific players that you want us to transfer list or contract, so maybe you want us to talk about whether we extend Dudu, whether we let Dudu's contract expire, whether we let Lee and Jay leave now, or Kim Jin Rae, for example. And if we don't, we just carry on through the season as we go. So yeah, Brazilian Fury, there's no voting today, so the committee, you don't need to join. It's all good. So the Dudu position. So you want to talk about this Dudu or this Dudu? I should talk about defensive midfielder Dudu, because he's been very good as well. Dribbling, creating, winning possession, pressuring, keeping the ball safe. Doesn't tackle very well though. But yes, I assume you would like to talk about this Dudu position. So we can look at options for the poacher and then discuss whether we want to offer Dudu a new contract. Beautiful. So we'll be taking that forward. We'll be taking forward a short list of half Brazilian, half Japanese players. I will extend that to include other nationalities treated as non-foreign. I will take forward seeing if we can hire Korean cooks to cook some kimchi. We just want a short list of Dudus. Beautiful. RJ, so you want to talk about, shall we talk about both of these guys then, Lee and Jay and Kim Jin Rae, and whether we look to release them, whether we look to maybe try and make some promises to get them more involved. So that is, we talk about the poach position. We put a short list of Dudus, a short list of Japanese, Brazilian players that might include other nationalities as well. Kimchi. We need Arturo Vidal's. So it would open foreign spots. Exactly. And then we will talk about Lee and Jay and Kim Jin Rae. So I will come to you not just with options for that, but shortlist for left backs and shortlist for left-footed centre backs. Lee and Jay is in there as a left-footed centre back. Oh, he's also been a little bit rubbish. So brilliant tackling. Brilliant tackling. But considering we're not on the ball much, he doesn't win possession. He doesn't win his headers either. 58% is very, very poor. So G&G says the foreign player rules have ruined the dreams of John Joe Patrick Finn. Well, I mean, we could potentially. We just need to get the rest of them gone. Get rid of all the other. No, I don't feel comfortable saying that sentence. Get rid of all the foreigners. Don't do that. open up some slots for foreign players so that we can handle our squad rotation a little better. So yeah, shortlist for left-footed centre-backs and left-backs. Beautiful. So we'll have left-backs, centre-backs, strikers, a short list of Dudus, a short list of Japanese players as well. Japanese Brazilian players. Beautiful stuff. Is there a position we struggle with both candidates? Not really. So Frank Romero's been out injured for a lot of the season. So Masato Kojima has had to play a lot of minutes. So we have at times seen Dudu play the more attacking midfield role whilst he's partnered by Yuhata. So that is kind of a concern there potentially. We've got Tsubaki with a minimum fee release clause. I should have changed this to yen. I did forget. I do apologise. Who wants to leave? So we could potentially have some issues over on the left. Hayato Atani has been our backup on the right-hand side, but can play on both. I don't think he's been great. 0.13 expected assists, 0.14 goals. I think he can certainly improve there. So is it Lee in J or J Lee in? So it's very, very confusing here, where the naming convention here has it as Lee in J, but as far as the database is concerned, his first name is in J, his surname is Lee. So depending on which screen we look at, it shows it in a different order because of the way that I've done the skin. We need Indonesian players for the aggression. So also, I mean, we're doing well tactically. I don't imagine we'd want to change anything here, but do we want to talk tactics next time as well? Do we want potentially different options for defensive options or attacking, or maybe a change of formation somewhere along the line? Oh, actually, let's change it to yen now whilst I can remember. And then when I next play the game and I need it in euros, I'll forget. So our overall balance is currently at 2.5 billion yen. We've still got like 1.8 billion in our transfer budget. We are very close. In fact, as that said, we're over our wage budget. We are currently spending over our wage budget. So if we were to adjust this, like if we were to go all the way, we'd still have 1.5 billion yen to use for transfer activity potentially. So if we want to dip into the transfer market, we should be in a very strong position. Not really. Love the possession. Exactly what we wanted. We're playing perfect football. No need to change. Marvellous. Then I think we've got our agenda set for next Tuesday. We will be talking about the futures of Lee In-jae and Kim Jin-rae. We will be looking at shortlisted options for centre-backs, left-backs and strikers. So we'll also be talking about the future of Dudu. We will be looking at potential options of Brazilian players that will count as non-foreign. I think that was it there? Yeah. So the Portuguese league is weird, says Johnson. You've already played 7 games while some teams have only played 3. It is because the cup competition's right at the front. So Mr. Momoman wants fantastic yen. Now let's change to Vietnamese dong and increase numbers by another 178 times. I mean, thankfully not. But I like to stick to the currency of the country we're working in because it kind of obscures it for me. I have no idea what the conversion rate is for yen, and I love the fact that I can spend 1 billion and not have a clue what that actually means. It's glorious. Seems a good plan. Committee will be fun. Marvellous. Oh, fantastic. And that is then where we bring everything to a close. So I'm going to actually, let's pop on over here. Hello. So yeah, next week we're going to be streaming Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, or at least that's the provisional plan at the moment. So it'll be 7 p.m. British summertime each day. We got knocked out of the league. We didn't make the playoffs. There won't be that during the course of the week, I'm afraid to say. So yeah, I hope to see you guys all next week. Be absolutely fabulous. I hope you have a wonderful weekend as well. However, before I do go, I'm going to pop another link to the Discord in the chat. This is where I give updates about the schedule, but also where you can pop on over to the War Room if you're interested in taking part in the draft competition tomorrow evening, being arranged and hosted by Zeratul, Zerba, Zeratul, whatever we're going to call it. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, pop on over. Yeah, I do need to, sorry, because I need to raid out over on Twitch. So YouTube, I'm going to say goodbye to you first. Thank you so much for coming along. Also on Monday, we will have our next video.